The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Top of the morning to you now.
Every March 17th, we honor St. Patrick by getting wasted. Right? But we don't know. We don't know. St. Patrick could be up in heaven going, I didn't even drink. What are these people doing? I don't want to rock the boat here, but these Irish are degenerates.
St. Patrick is the patron saint of strangers peeing in your front garden. That is how he is still commemorated around the world for one day every year.
And finally, Starbucks has unveiled its St. Patrick's Day themed Frappuccino, which features a matcha creme base mixed with caramel syrup and topped with whipped cream and caramel sugar crunch. Look for it on your local sidewalk Monday morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Yeah. I hear you. You know, you put on your silly green hat. You dance around like a damn like a lunatic to the sound of bagpipes. The Kiss Me I'm Irish t-shirt, the green beer. Everyone is a little Irish come St. Patrick's Day. I've heard that slogan said out loud. Everyone's a little Irish on St. Patrick's Day, which rolls around by Sunday. Welcome to the program.
I noticed you and I are the only ones that dressed in green today.
Oh, crap.
Oh, I didn't even...
Yeah, I'm sure you did it on purpose, Nick.
Yeah, this was not on purpose.
Oh, what? I assumed it was.
No, not at all.
Hey, I technically have green on my sweatshirt. It's like camel green, but it works.
I got green underneath the brim of my hat.
It doesn't matter.
You guys, you're just scrapping. You're scrapping over there.
Yep. It's
Cubby,
like back in elementary school, and you're like, no, I got green boxers on, so you can't pinch me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I've been Irish my whole life. That was the gimmick? If you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day, people get to pinch you?
Yeah, you
Never
get
heard
pinched.
that. Mm-hmm. Never heard it once in my life.
And you say you're Irish.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly the guy who...
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Studied up on it.
No.
For sure, in school, definitely. You didn't have a green on, you get a little pinch.
Yep.
Isn't that funny? That I never encountered that in my entire... Cubby loves shenanigans. What's another t-shirt that I've seen on St. Patrick's Day? Rock out with your shamrock out. Mm-hmm. I have to say one of the funniest, at least the first time, was a young lady had a t-shirt on, and it had Mike Tyson's face on it, and he was wearing a little Irish top hat, and it said, "Kith me, I'm Irith." So there you go.
I like I shouldn't say I like, but I've seen the t-shirt that says "Good Luck Charm" with an arrow pointing straight down. Mm-hmm. What's the one about, I'm never going to... The drunk, the words are all screwed up, but it's basically about being drunk.
Take me drunk, I'm home?
That's the one, yeah.
There you go. Sunday, St. Patrick's Day.
What better day to get absolutely trashed on? A Sunday.
Yeah, Sundays are good days for that. Some numbers here. Some statistics. 32% of dudes and 20% of ladies will, quote, binge drink on St. Patrick's Day. Fair enough. I also ran into some kind of an article that says, here's how to call in sick on Monday, the day after St. Patrick's Day. If you call in sick the day after St. Patrick's Day, you're a punk.
Well, and everyone's going to know what's going on. And not to mention the selections they give you, it's completely obvious. You know, this is for calling in sick any day. Everybody knows all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have no interest in getting into the article. I just wanted to make that statement. You got to be able to handle the day after. I don't care if it's St. Patrick's Day or any other day. You got to be able to handle the day after if you want to be a varsity drinker.
Varsity.
If you can't get up and go to work after a long day's drinking, then you remain on the junior varsity roster.
You're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
There is one on the list, though, that resonated with me simply because I do this without lying. to the point where I think, oh, they think I'm lying, where I'll give too much information as to why something's not going to work out. Like if I was going to call in sick or whatever it is, if I was legitimately sick or I couldn't go to an event, I'd give so much information because I feel bad I can't be there that I'm sure someone's thinking, this dude's lying. There's no way he needs to give me this much information.
You have a very guilty conscience. Is that why that happens?
Yeah. I've got that Irish Catholic guilt for sure.
Oh, you're riddled with that.
Well, I just want you to know, like, I'd be there if I could. These are all the things going on. And then as I'm saying it, I realize this sounds like I'm making it up.
Right.
Sounds like a lie. I wouldn't believe me.
Why am I giving away every little single solitary bit of information as to why I'm not showing up to work? Yes, you sound guilty. And we could spend all day talking about your Irish Catholic guilt. It's friggin' fascinating.
It really is.
It really
Not to me.
Well, thanks for taking one for the team for the rest of us.
To me, it's miserable.
At least you have something to blame it on. I just feel guilty for, like, existing.
Well, I mean, I really can't blame it on being Irish Catholic, I don't think. It's a part of me. I mean, I don't know where it started, if just born with it or what. Just get lucky along the way. Too many carcinogens. I don't know what causes it. I've also been guilty of this before where because I want to be honest, I'll be telling a story and then go, oh, no, wait, I take that back. Okay, no, that was a Tuesday. And I'll go back to correct myself when it really doesn't matter.
And details that aren't really crucial to the story.
Nobody's hanging on what time it was or with the particular temperature.
Oh, it was a Tuesday. Okay, yeah, keep going. This is great.
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Oh, man. And then I think we got a couple of Finns in the listening audience. Right. I hear this more and more every year. Isn't tomorrow a Finnish holiday? St. Euros Day, Euros. Someone help me out with that.
Never heard of it.
Have not heard of that.
We talked about it once before here on the program.
Never once.
Oh, I
Never
bet
once.
I remember it was a Tuesday.
Should someone look that up for me?
Yeah, I'm trying to find
St. Euros, St. Euros. I'm not sure how to say it, but every once in a while we hear from I think I'm right about that. I think this comes from the friggin' Finns.
St. Euros Day is observed each year on March 16th in Finland in anticipation of St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. Right.
But it's a St. Patrick's Day adjacent holiday?
It's like St. Patrick's Day Eve holiday?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's a lighthearted celebration that gears up revelers for all of the partying and drinking of St. Patrick's Day.
Actually, so it says here St. Patrick's, so they call it like St. Patrick's Feast Day.
Wait, this is the Finnish one?
Yeah, the St. Urho, however you say it. But it says...
St. Uzo?
It says it's celebrated by Irish Americans, of whom there are also many in Minnesota. We got a name drop in there. That's cool.
That is always incredibly cool. When someone says Minnesota, and you look around, and where are we?
Mm-hmm. Minnesota.
That is a friggin' thrill.
Especially at a concert. Oh, man. He knows where we are.
I was looking
and they almost always tell us that we're the best crowd they've ever played for. Right.
And they happen to be sometimes wearing a jersey or something of one of our local teams.
Yes, I love that cheap pop.
Wait, I'm not the best crowd? Darn it.
Sometimes you're not the best crowd.
Yeah, what if they got out there and they were like, you're like maybe like the fourth best crowd we've seen on this tour. Thank you so much.
That'd be hilarious.
Crowd on the tour.
I would fall in love with whoever said that.
Yeah. Haven't you guys ever been at a concert where the artist flipped out and said, "You people suck"?
No, I've certainly seen videos.
1989, Bullet Boys. They told us that we straight up suck.
Did the crowd suck?
The crowd didn't care about the Bullet Boys. That's why they thought we sucked. Yes.
That's weird you brought them up. I was listening to the Bullet Boys yesterday.
Hey, their first 2-3 records aren't bad at all.
No.
They get kicked around a lot because their lead singer is a lunatic. But their first 2-3 records, yeah, I remember that very well. That was funny. You people suck. This is the worst crowd we've ever played for. That was a lot of fun. Where else we'll be talking about? Yeah, don't be calling in sick on Monday. That's too obvious. It's time to grow up. Josh knows this. I was drunk 7 nights a week for about a decade and never missed a day around here, right, Cubby?
That's true.
You were very patient with me. Josh was a very patient friend and co-worker.
I mean, you weren't necessarily on time. A few pretty epic ones,
but that had nothing to do with drinking. That had to do with unhappiness. I mean, I didn't look so good, but I was here. And I had... once I had to run out of the radio studio to go puke in an office trash can.
Oh.
but I was here.
Remember you made a guy take that trash can out? Wasn't there a lot of Tahitian treat in that thing? If I remember right. There was a lot of Tahitian treat, which is scary looking on the way out, by the way.
You're close. It wasn't Tahitian treat, but you're very close. It was very fine fruit juice.
Oh, okay.
I showed up here. I'd like to say hungover, but it's not hungover. I was still absolutely intoxicated.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know the feeling. You just so dehydrated you can't even see straight.
I've only done that once, where I showed up still drunk from the night before. We mentioned it. I didn't know that could happen. That's the first time I learned that. I thought, boy, if I get 15 minutes of sleep, I'll be completely sober and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought if you slept it off, you were done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dehydrated to beat hell, so I raced over to the, what do you call that joint with the vending machines?
Kitchen.
I raced over to the kitchen, and I grabbed like 4 or 5 of those. They're delicious, too, that very fine fruit juice.
I love fruit juice.
I grabbed 4 or 5 of those, and I'm just pounding them. Well, I think we were about this far into the morning show when my stomach said, we're not interested in all this very fine fruit juice.
It's way too much sugar.
Yeah, that sugar you just dumped in there.
I can handle a lot of sugar. I don't know what it was, but I just knew I had to race out of here and burp into a dude's trash can. I had to race back in here to do the show.
Yeah.
So I ordered someone else to take my vomit out into the out to the dumpster.
I remember you
I would have
wasn't
left.
happy.
I would have walked out if I got asked to do something like that.
Oh, he was not happy about it.
Like, bye.
Hey, you, young kid, grab my vomit, take it out to the dumpster.
Heck no.
This friggin' music just tortures me. It really does.
Really? I like
love it.
It just makes my skin crawl.
I mean, you can overdo it, and I'm wondering if we're at that point right now.
I can handle it once a year. I don't think I'm going to listen to this in August or anything.
We might want to switch it up at this point, but I do enjoy it a little bit.
No, you don't have to switch it up. I just wanted to go on record that it makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, there's a Finnish parade going on in Finlayson, the listeners are telling us, this St. Euros Day. Like I said, it's something I was introduced to, 10 or so years ago.
I'm much more Finnish than I am Irish.
Well, then you ought to be doing whatever the Finns do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any cool colors that I get to wear for it?
I know nothing about it, except that it was first introduced to me by some friends of my parents. My mother is very Irish. I've told you the stories over and over again on the program. That's why Irish music makes my skin crawl, because I was bludgeoned with it as a child. Every St. Patrick's Day, we had to be in the parade. And we had to get up at 5 a.m. and go down to St. Paul. And then let's go to, what's that town with all the redheaded girls? Then we had to go down to Belle Plaine. We had to go down to Belle Plaine and dance in their parade. It drove me nuts. Okay? So I think this was 10 or so years ago. I was visiting my folks. My mother's going on and on about St. Patrick's Day, and some other old-timers got sick of it. And they stepped up and say, sure, St. Patrick's Day's great, but don't forget about us Finns. And they started talking about this St. Euros thing, and that was but I never studied up on colors or traditions or anything like that. Just be aware of it.
I love any excuse to dress up.
Don't be stepping on anybody's toes, all right? We got a couple of holidays here that...
I mean, I look forward to the Shamrock Shake every year, and then Reuben's. Nick and I were talking about Reuben's off there yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you had a Shamrock Shake yet?
I have not.
So good.
I don't think my tummy can handle them anymore, but boy, those are good.
One of my favorite things about living in Wisconsin when I did is that every bar, whether they serve food or not, they would have a crock pot full of corned beef and cabbage? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of, but that would make sense.
Is that like I'm making sure it's corned beef.
What is your question?
I was just making sure that like the Irish staple, it's corned beef and cabbage.
Yes.
And it was, oh gosh, it was so good.
It's very good.
And it's so good when you've been drinking for like 7 hours.
Well, we got all kinds of damn, I don't know if people, I think maybe people are maybe wanting you, Ashley, to go dress up in what you believe to be St. Euros colors and then make a fool out of yourself in public, because we're getting all kinds of different answers. The color for St. Euros is purple. Another one says the color is orange.
Those are two of my favorite colors.
I saw one that said apparently you're supposed to wear just a bra and panties tomorrow.
Deal, Josh.
Ah, man. We gotta get through our regular Friday things. Our regular Friday things need to be dealt with today. 8 a.m. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will show off their brilliant minds again for our weekly trivia gimmick called Dad Fights. So there you go. All leading up to St. Patrick's Day on Sunday.
Party weekend.
I don't know, I guess. Yeah.
Busy certain places.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night I'm hitting a 50th birthday party.
At a residence or an establishment?
No, at somebody's house.
I've got a birthday party to go to tomorrow as well.
What are all these people doing having birthdays?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Stop it.
Stupid.
I didn't get invited to any of these parties.
It's a hell of a deal when everyone starts hitting 50.
No theme, not like a St. Patrick's Day theme or something like that?
No, but there is, I suppose you could call it a theme. The birthday boy has asked everyone, he's a big college sports fan, so he's asked everyone to wear their favorite college team's hats, t-shirts, hooded sweatshirts, whatever you got.
That's cute.
That's as theme-oriented as it gets. What else is going on, Josh? You going to get together with your Irish relatives?
Yeah, we'll be getting together with some family this weekend.
What's the plan?
You know, we just like to chillax.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys ever do something like that?
Never.
Hang and bang. Well, no. Take that. Wait. Not that one. Hang some more.
You being from an Irish family, they didn't turn the screws on you to dance down the street until you were exhausted just because it's St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I come from a long line of gentlemen who don't like leaving the house, but we would, certainly go to Mass. And then I think we only went to
friggin' Mass.
A parade maybe once or twice. That's about it.
Lucky bastard.
I'd rather go to a parade than Mass.
Sometimes you'd get like 2 in the week.
Oh, I hated going to church.
I've been there.
Oh.
I hated going to church in general, but on St. Patrick's Day, it was worse. Want to know why? Because you take a tiny little building full of people, and then, well, before we go, let's squeeze in 37 bagpipers to play us a song on the way out. And it was just overwhelming.
Boy,
overwhelming.
There were some church services, Dana, where you would spend less time at the parade than you would at church.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They'd go on for a while.
That sounds miserable. So glad my parents weren't very religious like that.
Well, the worst part about it was all the people they packed in, and you're basically passing out with how hot it is.
Oh.
That's a problem, too. The heat, the
stuffy in there.
All the people.
Oh, and if you get a warm St. Patrick's Day, not good.
I think I've told you the story about when my brother embarrassed us to no end at a St. Patrick's Day Mass about 30 years ago. 30 years ago, would that be about right? Maybe even more than that. I don't think we were legal to drink, so I'd say 32 years ago. My mother, again, demanded that we meet her and the rest of her Irish family. I believe this was in Belle Plaine. If you're wondering, a lot of my mother's side of the family originated down in that part of the state of Minnesota, and a lot of my relatives on my mother's side of the family are buried there. So we used to visit Belle Plaine a lot for St. Patrick's Day, and then, of course, we wander through the cemetery, and, oh, look, there's Uncle Roger, whatever. He's dead. That was the thing. So my mother demanded that my brother and I join her and her Irish family at the church in Belle Plaine for St. Patrick's Day Mass. Again, this is a long time ago, but I believe this is where we were and how it all played out. Well, my brother and I, we were about 20 years old. And my brother was a straight-up animal when he was 20 years old with the drinking and the carrying on. And so he and I maybe got 2 hours sleep, partying all friggin' night. Maybe got 2 hours sleep before we had to jump in the car and race down to Belle Plaine for the St. Patrick's Day Mass. And my brother was in a particularly sour effing mood that morning. He was hungover to beat hell. But, we gotta make an appearance. So we walk into the church. We find a spot behind my mother and her family. And the church, like we were describing, it's hot, it's packed. There's stupid bagpipers making noise up and down. I wasn't happy. My brother was especially unhappy to be there. So, being a young kid, 20 years old, he's not paying too much attention to church etiquette. Not that we ever did. He and I always hated church. My brother's got his backwards baseball cap on, and we're sitting there, and my mother keeps turning around saying, "You need to take your hat off." And my brother kind of nods at her like, yeah, whatever. 2 minutes later, she turns around and says, "Now, please, it's against however religious people talk. It's against church code," whatever she said. "This is not right. Gentlemen need to take their hats off when you enter." And again, my brother kind of nods at her like, yeah. Turn around. One more time, and it's dead silent. The priest is up there doing his gimmick, right? It's quiet. My mother turns around a third time and says, "Stephen, you need to take," and my brother, church full of people. "Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll take my effing hat off when everyone else in here takes their effing hat off. There's 3-4 other effing guys in here with their effing hats on. When they take their effing hats off, I will."
I just can't picture him doing this kind of stuff.
I have to respect that a little.
The entire church, even the priest, dead stop, wondering who is this idiot who is screaming F-bombs at his mother in the church.
Every other dude with the hat on just slowly takes their hat off.
Everyone else in the family was embarrassed. I thought it was about the funniest thing I had ever seen in my life.
I would have died.
Oh, my God, that was great.
I bet.
So if you got a 20-year-old kid who's going to be out drinking on Saturday night, don't ask him to come to church on Sunday.
Don't ask him to take his hat off.
Oh, God, that was great. And you know what was funny? You know what's funny? Now, unfortunately, we've had a string of funerals here lately amongst my family and friends. It's been a bad run. A lot of funerals. One of them that we went to, this shows you how time and people change. One of them that we went to, a dude didn't take his hat off at the funeral, right, in the church, and my brother had something to say about it.
That's great.
That was so good.
Did you bring that up,
No, I didn't. It just crossed my mind later. I said, hey, suddenly he's a church etiquette guy after 32 years.
It's like that Batman quote, either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. All of a sudden, he's all about taking that hat off now.
Yeah, that's the way I know him. I don't know him of the guy that's not going to take his hat off and swear in church at his own mother.
Oh, God. She had it coming. My mom had it coming. She should have shut up when she had the chance. That's the way I see it. All right, here we go. Friday morning, we got the dad fights gimmick. I think we're all looking forward to, getting her done, getting the hell out of here, and having a fun weekend, whether we give two pumps about St. Patrick's Day or not. Or St. Euros Day for you friggin' Finns. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, man. St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. We were talking about it a few minutes ago, weren't we, Cubby?
Sure were.
Texts have come on in. We were talking about St. Patrick's Day and everything that goes along with it. Some texts have come in. Got a question from a listener. Anyone going to downtown Anoka for St. Patrick's Day? Hell no. What are you, nuts or something?
Yes, maybe.
Does Anoka do a big... I mean, Rosemont, St. Paul, those are the places I think of.
I always think of Anoka as the Halloween place.
Yeah.
It is the Halloween place.
Halloween capital of the world.
Yeah, is it pre-gaming for Halloween already?
Yes, Wapple.
Starting early.
I can see it happening.
Catch me in Anoka this weekend if that's the case.
I stopped going to Anoka a long time ago. Everyone there they're iffy. Everyone there is iffy. It was Halloween 10 or 15 years ago that I decided I couldn't trust the people of Anoka anymore, especially once you got them drunk. No effing way. One of my fondest memories of bar gigs happened in Anoka, and I think this was the night that I quit Anoka. I believe this was it. I was bar gigging here for the radio station, and it really was a cool gig. It was some Halloween costume contest, and the prize was, a real pile of money. The prize was great. Mm-hmm. And the costumes were great. So I'm walking around this bar. I forget which one it is. I'm the host of this costume contest. And, despite there being this incredible prize and all of these elaborate, terrific Halloween costumes, it's Anoka, and they've been drinking. So everyone's kind of aggravated and pushing and shoving and F-bombing each other. That's how Anoka people are. They're iffy. So it was just a weird vibe. Every time I got on the stage to say, hey, coming up in a half hour, we're going to, if you have a great costume and you want in on the contest, you got to go sign up. Everyone's like, boo, shut up. Bring them. This sucks. Where's the contest? They were just antsy. They wanted this contest to happen, which I get. But I was getting kind of pummeled up there whenever I just had to make my basic announcements. But the grand finale was this. So it finally came time for the contest. And I finally got the crowd to calm down, okay, because this is the main event. Just shut up for a few minutes. I'm going to introduce each of these costumes. And this was where I was like, this is too perfect. So I finally got the crowd to hush. I'm introducing each of the contestants for the costume contest. It just so happened I was wearing a Wyzetta t-shirt. So I said, there I am with the mic in my hand. And contestant number 3, SpongeBob SquarePants, come on up here. And everyone's like, yay.
SpongeBob.
Contestant number 4. And the crowd is quiet. I said, for one voice in the back of the bar. Crowd's totally quiet. I hear this from the back of the bar. Wyzetta sucks. That was great.
You, sir, just won the costume contest.
I couldn't help it. It was perfectly timed. Totally quiet in the bar. Wyzetta sucks.
That's something I could see you doing, too.
Oh, yeah. I had a great appreciation for the timing, the content, everything.
That is good.
The simplicity of it, too.
Yeah.
Folks are texted in saying Anoka is the real deal when it comes to celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Geez, I'm like 10 minutes away from there. I should check it out this weekend.
I'll go again if you can promise me that everyone from Anoka is out of town that weekend. If it's visitors like me, I'll be there.
Are they like Las Vegas still, where you can walk around with open alcohol?
Yep.
That's the way I remember
Unless
it.
something's changed, yeah.
Nice.
They passed that a year or so ago.
That's the way I remember it, but yeah, like Josh said, maybe the rules have changed. It's been a long time for me.
Get some chicken wings at Serums, and then bring your drink to Billy's and sing some karaoke.
When I'm out and about around my house, if there's something, because I'm not too familiar, like where everything is yet, and I'll be like, that's what is that person doing over there on like the side of the road? That looks sketchy or something. And then I realize I'm like, oh, I'm close to Anoka. That's why.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yep.
Iffy is the word, Ashley. Remember that. Iffy. All right. On the topic of St. Patrick's Day. And speaking of Ashley over there, somebody texted in and said, remember a couple years ago on St. Patrick's Day, Ashley didn't show up for work, but she attended a parade later that day.
That was fun.
And somehow you didn't see the issue with that?
The best was when we found that out the next day. You totally didn't understand. This is such a... Well, anyways. You totally didn't understand, and you're like, well, Yeah, I made a commitment.
To the parade.
Yeah. You mean like you do to work?
Yeah.
When you sign on the dotted line and you're employed?
Yeah, that was a rough morning. I threw up until like 6 a.m.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, shoot. And then I got like 4 hours of sleep. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to do this stupid parade thing.
You made a commitment.
You made a commitment.
You had to do it.
I should have came in and just threw up all over the place.
That was good. No, nobody's denying you weren't feeling well. Just the fact that you still went to the parade.
I am denying that you didn't feel well.
I felt bad.
I am going to go ahead and deny it. Some folks are texting in, okay, so we got the St. Euros Day is tomorrow. Some Finns texted in right away. Delicious. They get jealous. When we talk too much about St. Patrick's Day this time of year, the Finns always butt in and say, no, God, don't forget about St. Euros Day. Here's the story on St. Euro. According to some friggin' Finns in our listening audience, St. Euro is, or Eero, whatever, he got rid of the grasshopper epidemic way back when.
And we thank him for that.
We need a guy like him to get rid of the crabs here in town, don't we?
Especially here on campus.
That's a tall task.
Right? Make a special holiday for whoever can get rid of the crabs. And a couple people have texted in with one more holiday. Tomorrow is Stone Cold Day.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
316.
316. Stone Cold Steve Austin. When that glass hits.
You can't do that.
I know what I'm wearing to the zoo tomorrow then.
That's the only... My dad passed away on Stone Cold Day. And as sad as it was my dad passed, I thought, it's kind of cool it was on Stone Cold Day.
That is pretty badass.
You'll always remember.
Yeah.
Stone Cold sadness.
Well, Stone Cold puts a smile on my face, much like my dad did, so it's kind of nice to at least have some positive on that day.
And I'm at 100% pure adrenaline.
Because when Josh's dad goes to work, it'll be a good day.
You bastard, I'm going to tear up.
It's hard to stop.
I'm going to have to watch that again.
When you start quoting Steve Austin's Desire video like we did, I don't know, a week ago.
Yeah, probably to the date.
It's hard to stop. Remember his statement on sacrifices?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Give none of them up.
I wouldn't give none of them back to you because I loved them all. All right, stupid news.
Are you crying over there, Wobble?
No, you are.
When it takes him too long to get up, and it's time for somebody else to come in. Do it. Let's start off the stupid news talking about the latest realistic sex doll that some of you might want to pump on. An adult toy manufacturer by the name of Iron Tech. They glued together one of those realistic hump dolls, and they say it's one of their best sellers. It's a dude doll, and it is dressed kind of like a special ops, professionally trained assassin type character. Check this out, ladies and curious men. If you can find it is it on our website?
No, it's not.
Why the hell isn't it up on our website? You got a parade to go to later or something?
I didn't think to send it to her.
There we go. I'll get it up.
I just sent it to her.
You got to see this sex doll. He's so dressed up. He's got the tactical-looking pants on. He's wearing a sweat-stained sleeveless T-shirt. He's got dog tags around the neck, ballistic safety glasses on his handsome face, slick black hair.
Safety first.
I'd love to look like this guy.
Oh, he reminded me of you as soon as I saw him.
What?
And he's got a damn gun in his hand like he's the hero of an action movie. He's Gary from Team America World Police made out of rubber and plastic, basically, if you're having trouble picturing. And if you want him, to give you the goods, if this is the sex doll for you just by looking at him, by God, it says right here, you can attach a 9-inch fake boner on him.
9?
Yeah, 9.
That's too much. Chill.
Thank you for saying that. Finally.
You're welcome.
Let us know when you get that scene up on our website. We want folks to get a look at this.
Okay.
They call this character M5 Thomas, whatever that means. M5? Is there something I'm missing there? M5?
Is that a weapon of some sort?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's a BMW.
Oh. He's around 5'7", And like I said, he's flying off the shelves, according to the folks who put him together over there at the dildo factory called Iron Tech. There are all kinds of options if you want to customize M5 Thomas, the special ops assassin sex doll with the attachable 9-inch boner. There's all kinds of options. So before you fold him in half, he can be perfect for you. You can add pubic hair to the doll if you want to make it look like he's been out fighting battles and unable to groom for a couple of weeks.
Ashley, would you add that? Let's say they threw it in free. You get 3 things to pick. Would you add that?
Absolutely, yes.
Really?
Yep. Also, I don't know.
I guess
I was going to say it'd feel weird without it, but it's going to feel weird whether or not.
Here it is, Cubby. M5, is that the British CIA, somebody wants to know? Because is this British, this story?
Yeah, so wait. Was that MI5? MI6?
It's a question from a listener. Is M5 the British CIA? I don't know. I just thought somebody...
I looked it up. It's a gun. I know it's I think it's a BMW.
Okay, then that's what they're going for, the gun, maybe.
That's up on 93x.com now.
You were talking about the sex doll.
Yeah.
I think it's a...
I know what an MP5 is.
You can add pubic hair to the doll. What's an MP5?
Submachine gun.
Now we're talking. You can give him bloodshot eyes, like he's been drinking all day.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
I guess. Remember, I said that this sex doll carries a gun in its hand. And they're able to do that, the creators of the doll. It's quite fascinating, really, or maybe fascinating isn't the word, but it's interesting that they gave the doll articulated finger joints, and I'm not sure what I'm saying, but that allows him to clutch realistic-looking rifles and pistols that I guess come along with the doll.
Dude.
Yeah, so he can bend his fingers, which is very useful for a man's sex doll.
My word.
It's just funny to me that, okay, I want to ride this sex doll. Well, make sure he has some realistic rifles and pistols that you can have the warehouse boys pierce his belly button for you if you want him to come from 1998, I guess.
Oh, that's hot.
They can pierce his nipples like he's headed out to go snowboarding. A spokesperson from Iron Tech said something or another about how they're working on some of that A1 this and that so the doll can...
AI.
It reminds me of when my friend called AI Al.
So the doll can talk to you. They're working on realistic facial expressions and all that. For now, he is what he is. I guess just bring him back to the house, kick that gun out of his hand, knock him onto the floor, and bang him blind. Right, Ashley?
Yeah, he is really, really hot.
Yeah.
That could be the fantasy that ladies can play out with this doll. The doll thinks he's a real tough guy hero type, right? Oh, he's not going to be so tough when you knock him down and stand on his fake rubber nuts for a little while, is he?
Snot Rocket Cheesa said she'd take bloodshot eyes over pubic hair. She'd rather have that than the pubes.
Oh.
Anybody? Am I the only one here reading the Jack Reese books from Jack Carr? I'm sorry, John Reese books from Jack.
Didn't understand
Terminal
a
List.
word that you said.
Anybody watch the show Terminal List?
You
Never
might be
saw
the
it.
only one reading on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not true. If there's a WWE book or something like that,
Never
you'll
saw
read
it. What about it, Cubby?
Well, so with the guns, I can't say I'm necessarily learning, but there's so much detail on guns in the books that I feel like I'm becoming a little more manly just by reading these books.
Okay.
I mean, it's like all the different kinds, all the different parts of a gun, even how to use it, stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Do I seem more manly at all?
Yes, absolutely.
I have 2 extra nipple hairs, and I'm pretty sure that's thanks to author Jack Carr.
Man. Well, yeah, this tough guy assassin sex doll. He's all the rage, according to the folks at Iron Thong. What the hell's the name of the Iron Tech? He's not so tough when you bang him into submission and then drown him in the bathtub. I'm just saying, that could be the fantasy.
Yeah, maybe
Who do you think you know, sex doll's not going to put up much of a fight, right?
It is amazing that the technology on those things. It's no longer the joke blow-up doll with the surprised look on her face.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that you can pick all these accessories and specific and sometimes weird choices you can make.
I think it's insane that a sex doll can be more than a car. Nowadays.
They're expensive.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me.
You can spend a lot of money on these things.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a hell of a deal.
I'd want him to like actually smell like a little bit like sweat.
All right.
Really?
Definitely.
You're going to have to make a few phone calls on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if any other girls have that in common with me, is that like men that I find attractive, I also find the smell of their sweat attractive.
Pheromones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of chicks dig that vibe. Plenty of folks are texting in trying to compare this sex doll to a character we created a few weeks ago named Dean.
Dean is a bad boy.
Yeah.
If you were a special ops agent, would you really want your nipples pierced? There's a lot of things you could get it caught on. I wouldn't like that.
It's a tough.
You can hang weapons on it.
Yeah. You could put your grenades there.
It depends if they're hoops or studs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just don't pull the wrong pin.
Oh, that gives me the chills.
Boss lady, she just said, I don't mind pubic hair on real men, but pubic hair on a doll seems weird. Where are they sourcing these hairs, she wonders. That's a good question.
Is there a locks of love for pubes?
Oh, locks of lust.
Pubes on a doll is weird. She's right. Maybe, we talked about how you can order this sex doll to have bloodshot eyes. Maybe he's got bloodshot eyes because of a stray pube.
Oh, man, yeah. They can find their way places that are very stingy.
Going back to nipple grenades, if someone was running at me with 2 grenades on their nipples, no shirt on, I would run the other way. That dude's nuts.
Not me. I'd be so just confused and
with
yeah.
Sir, I have questions.
I'd stay there and think, well, where's this going to go?
Nipple grenades.
Back to nipple grenades.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be scary. I'm sure the folks who run this here vape shop that I'm going to tell you about don't find any of this funny, but a lot of you will probably think it's cute that a derelict dressed as Tigger from the Winnie the Pooh show broke into a vape shop a night or two ago. And the joint surveillance videos caught this dork in action. Dressed as Tigger from the Winnie the Pooh variety show, whatever the hell Winnie the Pooh does. The vape shop is setting there in Lincoln, Nebraska. Generation V is the name of the joint. What does the V stand for?
Oh.
Vape?
Yeah, vape. Generation V, isn't that from The Boys?
Yes.
Never saw it.
Is it Generation V or something else? Something V.
The V.
Maybe it's
V
just
school,
V.
University. Yeah, I can't remember.
Around 1 a.m, someone tossed a concrete rock through the window of the vape shop and then crawled on in, and it was this dude dressed like Tigger. He stole $500 worth of items off the shelves, and now he gone.
Compound V.
Compound.
Cops are still looking for Winnie the Pooh's little pal, Tigger.
Tigger's too wholesome to be robbing vape shops.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the dark version of Winnie the Pooh? He's not
Blood
wholesome
and
at
Honey?
all.
Oh.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, that was such a good movie, just because it was that bad. And I wish you could all see it, because my favorite part of it is the way that Winnie the Pooh, like, I guess he'll like turn his head to the side like really fast. Like something will be going on. He's just like, huh, what's going on over there? And it is the funniest thing ever.
I think you can watch it on Peacock for free. I think that's where I saw it.
They have a sequel that they're working on.
No way. I'm
Wonderful.
definitely going to watch that.
I am kind of curious. I don't think I'll watch the whole thing, but I at least want to watch like 20 minutes, just get a feel for what it's like.
You will be on Winnie the Pooh's side, even though he's an awful, awful bear. You'll be on his side.
Does he ever say, oh, bother? Like that's his kill when he kills somebody or something?
No, he doesn't. That would have been awesome. No, he doesn't talk,
bother.
which makes him even scarier.
Don't be bothered.
Christopher Robin's a douche.
Don't they kill Eeyore or something in it?
Yeah, before it even
spoilers.
starts, it's like, no, it's like in the opening scene. They're like, yeah, we killed him and ate him, or some vibe like that. Yeah.
So that just is, it's one of those movies that's so bad it's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Sharknado.
Exactly.
I never got dialed into Winnie the Pooh's programming. If you like tiger-related videos, we got another one for you, I guess. Maybe you just want to try this one out. It's stupid and ridiculous. See if you can follow this. A zoo in Japan had a grown man put on a silly white tiger costume and then crawl around the zoo on all fours in order for the zoo people to practice how they would go about trapping a real tiger if one ever upped and escaped its cage.
I like it when they do that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Is this video up on our website?
No, but it's about to be.
Why can't we get any videos on our website?
I'm sorry, it's not my fault.
It's because somebody had 6 commercials to do yesterday and forgot to send some of this stuff to Ashley.
It happened.
6 commercials.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it's fun.
My
Holler at us.
solidarity is with you.
What did he say?
His solidarity is with me. That was the nipple grenade guy from earlier.
Holler at us when this is up on 93x.com. Check out the video. Guys crawling around on all fours, more or less wearing tiger pajamas to practice how they would trap a real tiger.
I like it when they do this with gorillas and stuff like that. It seems unnecessary, does it not?
Yes.
But I like that they go that extra mile.
They beat the guy with batons. They sprayed a tranq dart into his neck, and then they put him in a van or something like that. It's a fun video. Staying here with the Japanese, authorities have given folks a heads up on something. They're trying not to have folks go into a panic, but the truth is, there's a toxic cat on the loose in a town over there in Japan. A toxic cat. Now, I've watched the Toxic Avenger movie many times, so I know the possibilities here.
Is that another one of those where it's so bad it's good?
It's so good, it's good.
Really?
The Toxic Avenger. In the movie The Toxic Avenger from the year 1984, a scrawny, harmless little wappo-looking kid by the name of Melvin the Mop Boy, and Melvin gets his ass kicked every day by the cool kids for being such a dork. One day, Melvin falls into a vat of toxic waste, and when he comes on out of there, he takes very violent revenge on everybody who ever picked on him. He also has incredibly hot sex with a blind girl.
Oh.
Real quick,
The Toxic Avenger.
the tiger is up on 93x.com.
You mean the dude dressed as a tiger?
This is the most ridiculous video I've ever seen in my life, by the way. Wow.
So anyway, the Japanese are praying that the toxic cat wandering around town doesn't have the same plans in mind that Melvin the Mop Boy did. Residents have been told to keep a sharp eye out for the toxic cat. The whole story goes like this here. A company called the Nomura Plating Factory in Fukuyama, Japan. They had a cat stroll into their warehouse a few days ago. And they deal with all kinds of chemicals and awful toxic materials. Workers noticed a set of kitty footprints next to a vat of something called hexavalent chromium. Now, I don't know exactly what that is, but it's some nasty, toxic stuff. Workers wear all the protective gear they can get their hands on whenever they come anywhere near the stuff. They looked at security video, saw a cat entering and exiting the factory in the middle of the night, and determined that, because of the footprints and all that other evidence, the cat fell into the vat at some point during its visit. So the city's health officials, how do you say that, Josh?
Health officials?
Health officials issued a warning to anyone in town. They're told to keep a lookout for a cat exhibiting abnormal behavior. They say don't touch the toxic cat. If the cat doesn't kill you dead, the goo that's dripping off the damn thing will.
Ah, poor kitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if it becomes an evil kitty or something like that. Or I suppose it could be a super cat. After that.
That'd be sweet.
Either answer would be incredible in my book. The city officials, they're in Fukuyama. They do acknowledge that there's a chance the cat is already deader than disco from swimming around in toxic waste, but they're not taking any chances until they find its melted, glowing, dead carcass in the streets.
Poor cat.
There's a 30-foot buzzing cat in front of my house.
It's powering my house.
That's very interesting. Toxic Avenger? Nobody else?
No.
What the hell's the matter with you?
You say I need to see it. I can't watch it.
What do you mean you can't?
I just haven't brought myself to watch it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Looks like it's on Peacock.
For fellow Toxic Avenger fans in our listening audience, and I know they're out there, one of the subtle, funny moments from the movie is, again, Melvin the Mop Boy, biggest nerd in town. He never got any ass. He falls into a vat. He becomes a violent, toxic Avenger. And then he meets this gorgeous blind gal, and she wants to bang him. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing. So, she's touching him and initiating sex, right? And the Toxic Avenger, formerly Melvin Mop Boy, says this line right here. What are you doing to me? I love that part of the movie.
So is it like a comedy horror?
Yeah.
It is.
Graphic. What are you doing to me?
I'm looking at a still photo from Toxic Avenger, the movie that you're talking about, and it looks, I'm going to be honest, Nick, it looks ridiculous.
Well, you're wrong.
He's got like his mop up in the air.
Yeah, that's how he kills some folks, is with the mop that he used to.
Time to clean up this town. There was a movie, they remade it.
Yeah, they remade it. I never followed the remake.
Kevin Bacon was in it. Peter Dinklage.
What?
Just last year.
Garbage. The original is the only one you need to care for.
I like those guys, though. Elijah Wood.
Who?
Elijah Wood.
Oh, wow.
I don't, who's that?
From the Lord of the Rings movies.
Elijah Wood. Car thieves are a big effing problem. Everywhere as you look. Even in Canada. The land down under, they call it. Even in Canada, car thieves are running buck wild. And cars aren't just being snatched out of parking lots and out on the public streets. Apparently, armed thieves are breaking into people's homes and demanding their keys. F me. What the hell is wrong with us?
We're having to learn how to hotwire. People are just getting lazy these days.
I have a uncle, career felon. I was to the point where I only met him about 3 or 4 times because he was in jail or workhouses. And he taught me how to hotwire a vehicle when I was maybe 11 years old.
That's
awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Do you still put that knowledge to good use?
No, I barely remember a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he taught me. It was his car. And, well, I think it was his car. I never considered that before. But I was, a young man, and he's like, "Hey, come in here. I want to show you something." He showed me how to hotwire a car.
Talk about going above and beyond to be the cool uncle.
Yeah.
Teach you how to commit felonies.
Yeah, Uncle Joe taught me how to do that.
By the way, back to the Toxic Avenger, I did get a text message from Melvin the Mop Boy Jesus, who's very excited that I was talking about the Toxic Avenger. And this, I don't know how this didn't dawn on me, maybe because it's Friday, and, on Fridays I don't care. But a listener pointed out that Ashley just got done advocating for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But she looked at a movie poster from the Toxic Avenger and wanted to tell me that the movie looks ridiculous.
Hey, in my defense, I was looking at the remake.
Oh, you didn't see the original?
No.
So, car thieves in Canada are breaking into people's homes and demanding their car keys. I just don't know what to do anymore. So the police in Toronto, they got their work cut out for them. And one particular cop gave some interesting advice at a recent community meeting. All the concerned citizens sitting around, what are we going to do? They're kicking down our doors and taking our car key. One of the cops says, to prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your car keys at your front door.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door. Because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else.
It's insane.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to put all the good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Just leave the car running for him at this point.
Just leave the keys in the car.
What in the hell are you talking about?
That's so sad.
Now, it says here in the meeting, the cop seemed to be speaking to mostly elderly people, as if to say, you old folks want to try and avoid a violent confrontation. But still, that's terrible advice. There's also video that's gone viral in Canada. Someone left a sign on their car saying, "Dear Mr. Robber, please do not break my car window. The door is open. Have a great day."
Didn't you do that, Josh?
No, my uncle did. Because our car windows were broken in so much, it was costing him a fortune to get them fixed. He just didn't have anything of value in there. And he had a lot of expletives that he put in that thing, but he got tired of buying new windows, so he had that sign in his car.
Was it the same hot wiring uncle?
No, different uncle.
Because I was going to say, maybe they're breaking in to get their stuff back or something.
Maybe it was the felon uncle who was breaking the other uncle's windows all the time.
Well, you said felon uncle. You got to be specific.
Okay.
Feel that.
But you know, that what do I know? But it seems to me that might put a lot of people in danger. If thieves are going, oh, sweet, it's like Halloween, we just trick or treat here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe they try a bunch more homes. I don't know.
The world has just gone crazy. And people in Canada are known to be polite. But who the hell is in their right mind is going to volunteer their car up like that? Says here, Canadian citizens claim this is no joke. This is a real tactic that some people are going ahead with. That is, I don't know.
I've never heard anything like that. I mean, they'll say...
I have no words for such a thing.
I guess a close one would be, and I'm not saying this is bad advice, but when they say, hey, when that 11-year-old is pointing his stolen gun at you, just give him the keys. If you're being carjacked, it's not worth it. Your car's not worth it. That's the closest. Humbling experience.
That really sucks. All right, we got to close it out. I hadn't seen one of these in years and years and years. I had to look it up to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Does everybody know what a pachinko machine is?
Yeah. No. Well, marbles fall down?
Yeah, I hadn't seen one of these in... A buddy of mine, when we were kids, his dad was in vending. So the pool tables and pinball machines and jukeboxes were all over this buddy of mine's dad's garage, and we used to play one of these pachinko machines, but it had been decades. It's like a pinball machine / slot machine, arcade game. It's very hard to describe. It's a Japanese thing. They put them in casinos for gambling.
They look fun.
Well, here's how you know you're not grown up enough to be out in public. In Japan, we're back in Japan now. At a casino or some kind of a joint like that, cops had to go ahead and arrest a 48-year-old man. The effing guy poured a cup filled with piss on a pachinko machine.
Oh.
And he broke it.
What'd the pachinko machine do to deserve that?
Well, took his money.
It's weirder that he had a cup of it. For whatever reason, if he just peed on it, it seems less strange.
But you hear a lot of that, don't you? The folks who sat for hours at the same casino machine, they'll just take a whiz in a Mountain Dew bottle or in an empty cup because they don't want to lose their spot.
Yep.
This dude pours the whiz on the pachinko machine. He breaks it. He leaves. But the cops got him when he came back to the casino the next day to do some more gambling.
Oh, man.
He's not shy.
Might have a bit of a problem there.
What do they say, like in the sports world sometimes when you have a bad game? They say you got to have a short memory.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got a short memory, even though he told on the topic of his memory, I don't buy it, but he told the cops he doesn't remember pouring his piss on anything. He says he was too drunk to remember anything. But it was kind of cool to see one of those pachinko machines at work again. It brought back some memory. I don't know that I doubt that I'd ever, throw a quarter in one again and play it, but
yeah, I've never seen one of these.
Yeah, I had a buddy who had one growing up too. It was a lot of fun.
Hell of a deal.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You don't look a day above 69. That's a nice number.
Keith Hernandez. He calls games for the New York Metropolitans. He's one of those dorks that can't move past the 69 joke.
Nice.
Unlike most dudes once they get beyond 7th grade. Keith Hernandez. It's a nice number, he said. The Pigs beat Anaheim last night 2-rip. Marc-Andre Fleury put up his 75th career shutout, by God. The Ducks pretty much blow. But that's all right. It's all right. Get the 2 points. You get a little closer to possibly making the playoffs. They're still right there in the mix. What do I have here in front of me? They play the St. Louis Blues tomorrow night. Tomorrow night? What day is it today?
Today is Friday.
They play the St. Louis Blues tomorrow night. That's a club that's right there in the mix with them. So go ahead and get that done. Michigan State dumped the Golden Gopher men's basketball team on their ass in the Big Ten tournament. They're all done. They had a lead. Like a lot of games, they couldn't hang on to it. So, too bad. We talked about them yesterday. You know, they had a pretty damn good season compared to what we've seen in the recent past. This weekend, there's plenty going on. We can get into all of it when we talk to Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder in about a half hour. We're going to have another trivia contest for the boys. Dad Fights Part 100, I believe, plus 63.
Mm-hmm.
But there's all kinds of things going on. Girls basketball, the Wolves, Golden Gopher hockey for the men and women. We'll get into all that. We'll take a break. Josh's News is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
What companies deserve your hard-earned dollar? Which would you want to work for? How can you know if they share your values? Just ask us. Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks who really means business in supporting workers, customers, communities, the environment, and shareholders. We measure progress, track success, and help them be better. When you see the Just Capital seal, you know what's real, because just business is better business. Visit justcapital.com to learn who makes your dollar count.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
We've been talking about it, and I've been telling my kids that if it was my son or my daughter, I would have went to the principal and handled it like that, and then I would have talked to my kids.
A New Jersey father was arrested after he was caught on camera walking into a high school classroom to yell at a teenage boy. 38-year-old Aaron Thomas was filmed entering the classroom Monday, demanding a teenage boy apologize to his daughter. "You got a problem with my daughter?"
Wait a minute.
He asked the teen in video posted to Instagram. "Apologize to my daughter," he commands. The frightened child replies he didn't do anything to her, but Thomas wouldn't accept that answer as his anger became more intense. "You heard what the FI said. Apologize to my daughter now." And then he did conjure up a pretty sweet line. He said, "I'm gonna slap the fire out both y'all."
I was surprised. I thought it could have definitely been handled differently. I think it should have been handled parent to parent instead of student or outside of the school.
Another adult tried to stop the father's barrage, trying to escort him from the room as Thomas started to verbally spar with a second student. "It's not worth it," the adult could be heard saying to the father, who apparently laughed at the fact that one of the kids was shaking. He then could be seen making some sort of physical contact with the second student, with police saying he grabbed that student's arm. Thomas was at the high school Monday to sign out his daughter, who was having an issue with photos being shared with other students. Another parent who watched the video said, "As a father, I can understand exactly what he's saying, what he's doing, but also as a father of a child that's in the schools, to have a stranger come in and do what he did is wrong." Meanwhile, the 15-year-old boy who was confronted by Thomas was forced to leave after receiving anonymous death threats on his cell phone.
I'm not afraid to fight a 15-year-old.
I am.
That's pretty wild.
What? Leaked photos? Uh-oh.
Yeah, they didn't get specifics, but I guess you can infer what they mean there. Video shows the moment a fight erupted Wednesday between a teacher and a school safety monitor at a Pennsylvania school. You're not expecting something like that.
No. That's incredible.
That is not safe. The teacher was seen trying to fend off the security agent with punches before he was taken down on a classroom floor at Harrisburg High School. The men wrestled as other teachers, safety agents, and students tried to break the brawl up. Yeah, he about to be fired. She's right. It began after the security monitor entered the class and confronted the teacher about a personal matter, a district spokesperson said. The 2 school employees were reportedly placed on leave while officials investigate that fight.
That's like a gift from God if you're sitting there at lunch at that high school.
Authorities in Florida arrested a suspect who attacked another man with a machete amid a dispute about looking through text messages. 24-year-old Douglas Fullerton was caught going through his roommate's phone late Monday night. And when the victim confronted him about it, Fullerton grabbed a machete and hit the victim in the face. The victim then grabbed the blade to prevent Fullerton from striking him again. Fullerton dropped the machete and retrieved a silver knife from the kitchen and returned to continue stabbing him. When the victim turned and attempted to run away, he felt the knife plunge into his back.
God dang.
The sheriff's office said the victim escaped to a bathroom, calling 911 as Fullerton yelled from outside the door, telling him, "You could tell him you got into an accident," he told him to say. "I don't want to go back to jail," he said. The victim eventually attempted to flee the residence, but Fullerton was nearby and began chasing him. When the victim reached a neighboring home, he saw Fullerton was no longer there and remained on the neighboring property until deputies arrived. Thankfully, he's going to be okay. In other odd and terrifying uses for lawn and garden equipment, a man holding a chainsaw as he stood in the bed of a pickup truck in front of a Mission Hills, California subway was taken into custody Tuesday after a 3-hour standoff.
At one point, he recovered one of his chainsaws from the back of the truck, and he started the chainsaw. He began to pour some gasoline in the back of the truck, and part of that gasoline fell on his pants. He did have a lighter as well, so the concern for his safety was paramount.
Details about why the man refused to get out of the truck bed were not immediately available.
Wow.
Chainsaw. You know why those were invented?
Unfortunately, Ashley, I do. Call back to yesterday's show.
Still haunted.
Yeah, still a little disturbed by that. The age-old debate over how many indoor cats is too many nearly got a Florida woman killed.
He told me that I should kill you, B. I just don't know. I don't understand. And that's what I troubles me, is that because he seemed like such a nice guy, that this could have been anyone. If it wasn't me, who would it have been if he was going to snap?
When she told her new roommate his growing herd was more than she could handle, rather than putting his 6 cats outside, 59-year-old Glenn White shot the woman 10 times.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Then slapped the phone out of her hand when she tried calling 911. Investigators say the unusual dispute happened late Friday, March 8th. White was evicted from his home 4 days earlier, and the victim allowed White to stay at her new residence. He moved in along with his 3 cats, but every day he brought another cat home until there was a total of 6, the sheriff's office said. The victim requested the cats live outside on the porch, and that's when he began shooting.
I was like, you just shot me. He just kept shooting. I just pop, 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 like 10 times. I thought he was going to kill me. And he did look at me and had the gun in my head.
She ended up in the hospital. He ended up in jail.
This guy's not right.
No, not at all. I think the people that kicked him out were doing the right thing. That lady's just being nice almost got her killed. She can handle a lot of bullets, that's for sure.
10?
Yeah.
My goodness.
She took 10 of them?
She took 10.
Slight overkill.
Son of a bitch.
An incoming jet hit a bird while landing at MSP early yesterday, damaging the plane and closing a runway for several hours. The American Airlines flight from Miami was in the process of landing when it was struck by a bird shortly before 1 a.m. The plane landed safely, but damage to the front nose gear and leaking fluids left the plane unable to taxi off the runway. From May 1990 to December 2023, there have been more than 2,200 bird strikes at the Twin Cities airport.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, scary stuff, right, when you hear the damage they can do?
Mm-hmm.
And a deputy in Florida had a close encounter of the bird kind.
No, it worked.
Though this was at a traffic stop, Deputy Carson of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office was in the middle of a routine traffic stop late last month when he was approached, that is, by an aggressive turkey.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, come on. Quack, quack. Back up.
Yeah, he conflated birds.
Yeah.
He got really confused. The turkey was walking down the middle of a neighborhood street with a foul gang of other turkeys and chickens at his side. Carson mistook the bird for a chicken, but started quacking at it. Apparently the turkey, though, wouldn't let up.
Quack, quack, quack. Chicken.
Who is this guy? This is a cop?
This cop, it's a deputy. No, it's not. Chickens don't quack. That's a turkey. The deputy tried to deter the bird by raising his leg at it and taking off his hat to swat at it before using his radio to report what was happening.
I can't believe this is happening. I'll be right back, ma'am. Give me a second. Except for I'm getting attacked by a chicken right now.
Eventually, Carson, who did not grow up on a farm, herded the turkey to the other side of the road and escaped to the safety of his patrol vehicle.
Bow wow, meow. He's trying everything. Those turkeys will bite a nipple off of you as soon as look at you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of turkeys in our neighborhood, and they're dicks.
Are they?
When they're crossing the road,
are.
they just make eye contact with you. They don't hurry, nothing.
No, they take their sweet-ass time.
Oh, it was like the movie The Birds the other day in our back parking lot. Nick, you remember we were attacked by geese.
Yes, we were.
And then we were attacked by turkeys.
All within about 3 minutes.
Those turkeys that come around here are evil. One time I was trying to get out the front door from here, and I had to go around the other front door.
I'm telling you, they got a taste for nipples, dude. They got a taste for human nipples, and nothing will stop them.
2 Woodbury law enforcement members were honored Wednesday for saving a man following a fiery crash. Woodbury officials said the men were called to a report of a vehicle which struck a guardrail, but when the officers arrived, they found the vehicle on fire in a pond. Double danger. The driver apparently was having a seizure, and the Woodbury officers untangled him from his seatbelt and pulled him from the burning vehicle. Together, they worked intentionally to save a man's life and did so with unwavering courage and deep compassion for human life, city officials said. We are grateful for teammates who run toward danger to help those in great need. They will also receive a life-saving award from the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association.
I'm that type of guy, Cubby. I'll run towards danger.
I know you will.
And you'll be right there with me.
Heck yeah. Well, trailing behind you, but I'll be there. Then tomorrow, a unique fundraising event is taking place in Rosemont, as pro wrestlers will enter the ring to raise money for the families of the fallen Burnsville first responders.
Just want to make sure that those that are the first to rush in and the last to come out in an emergency have the support of the community.
Absolutely. Ironheart Pro Wrestling and Dakota County Heroes have teamed up for the event. And Farmington Mayor Josh Hoyt, total badass, will be stepping into the squared circle.
This is one of those things that they're going to go, dude's crazy, but okay, we'll show up and we'll watch it, and it's going to be amazing. People will be surprised.
The Marine Corps veteran who was on the wrestling team his senior year of high school took to social media and challenged the pros to a match.
I'm openly calling out any wrestler on the Ironheart roster. Let's see if you've got enough to take me out in the ring. Come and get some.
That's a big mistake, dude.
It is?
Oh, man, those wrestlers are going to be pissed.
I don't know. I'm cheering for him. He's a big dude, this man. The Ironheart Pro Wrestling match benefiting the families of Burnsville's fallen heroes and their departments takes place tomorrow with a pre-event tailgate starting at 4:30. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. To purchase tickets to the event, check out a link we posted on 93x.com. Law enforcement in North Carolina stopped traffic Tuesday afternoon after a safe was found on the side of the road and drivers were scrambling for cash. Just after noon, fire crews spotted the safe and called the Wake County Sheriff's Office. People were going after the money as it blew around, so they called 911.
I need some police pretty quick. I got a lot of money that's laying on the roadway, and people are stealing it.
The Wake County Sheriff's Office later said there was a significant amount of money that was in the safe and blowing into the road, so crews stopped traffic for a brief time. By mid-afternoon, the Wake County Sheriff's Office had the safe in their possession and was trying to track down the owner.
That's always an interesting situation, isn't it?
Yeah, that cash grab.
Grown folks just come uncorked and they're running around the freeway trying to grab money that's blowing around in the wind.
It's so embarrassing, but I would be there.
I respect that honesty.
That's kind of what I was thinking, you know. I mean, most of us, you know, we shake our head when we see a video or hear a story like that, but I wonder if we would get drawn in. And there we are on our hands and knees again on a freeway, stabbing at cash like it's our next breath.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Here's a couple notable new releases taken from our weekly post on 93x.com. London power metal band Dragon Force released their first new album since 2019, Warp Speed Warriors, which features a Taylor Swift cover they call Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version, Dragon Force's version.
Oh, cool.
They didn't think to edit the title of that song at all?
Well, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh, I don't understand the joke.
Because Taylor Swift recorded a new album, right? Or re-recorded an old album.
Yes.
And puts Taylor's version at the end of all the songs. So it's Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version, Dragon Force's version.
I'll catch up with it at one point or another.
That's the bit. And Creed vocalist Scott Stapp put out his 4th solo album this week called Higher Power.
He sounds very different.
That song has balls.
It does. Yeah.
Don't you think his singing voice sounds very different?
I could tell it's him, but there's definitely a difference. Check out 93x.com for the rest of what's new in rock this week. In theaters this week, Knox Goes Away. Directed by and starring Michael Keaton, the movie's about a contract killer with a very rare form of dementia, fighting to keep his grip on reality as his memory becomes increasingly unstable. Al Pacino and James Marsden also star. Then available now on Max, the streaming premiere of Dream Scenario, a dark comedy starring Nicolas Cage as a professor whose life is disrupted after millions of people start randomly seeing him entering their dreams. Retired women's soccer star Mia Hamm, 52 on Sunday. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins will be in town this summer with Green Day, will be 57. Rob Lowe will turn 60. Gary Sinise Sunday turns 69. Also Sunday, Kurt Russell, 73. Wolfgang Van Halen, 33 tomorrow. Alexandria Daddario will be 38.
Son of a bitch.
She will be 38, but won't be returning as a guest on 93X Radio after our really strange interview.
You're thinking of someone else, aren't you? What was her name?
Oh, you know what I am?
Yeah.
Gemma Arterton.
Gemma Arterton, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot. This is another girl you'd like to stalk. Yeah, and Alexandra Daddario.
I'm feeling good. How about you?
She is special, that lady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my childhood heroes, Frank Poncherello on Chips. Eric Estrada turns 75 tomorrow. Cool. Mark Hoppus of Blink-182, 52 today. Poison frontman Bret Michaels, 61.
Bret Michaels. Hilarious.
just the sound of his name being read aloud makes you laugh.
It's just hilarious.
Warm welcome to the newest member of the Sisterhood, born last Friday, and congratulations to Mom and Dad, Clara City Jesus and Maple Lake Jesus. Sending a westwardly shout-out of thanks all the way to Arizona to Phoenix Jesus for keeping up with the podcast. Big Daddy J messaged the Luther Kia of Bloomington text line to shout out his little cat, Mouse Cop. Today's his 11th birthday, and Mouse Cop is currently listening live and playing with some of his birthday presents.
Oh, hell yeah.
Happy birthday this Sunday to Chris, the best invisible flute player I've ever seen. Happy birthday to the parents of Up North Jesus, who celebrate their 50th tomorrow. The anniversary, that is. Tomorrow, Gypsy Jesus will celebrate a birthday. Hope it's a great one. And happy birthday to Antique Snowmobile Jesus. That's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
You get a win tonight that will breed confidence going into those next 4 games against teams in the similar spots beside you in the table.
Where you from, Jim?
Ireland.
I like your accent. I want to learn how to talk like that. But ask your question again. I was too much listening to your accent.
Yeah, no problem. And
I remember that. That was a cute moment.
I did like that.
Was that Anthony Edwards' rookie season?
I'm trying to remember. I just a couple days ago, my son and I were watching Anthony Edwards' funniest moments.
He's a funny dude.
Oh, he's funny. There's a ton of them, both on the court and off the court.
He's taken a question there from a member of the media from Ireland, and he can't even listen to the question. Mm-hmm. He's just fascinated by the accent. I need to learn to talk like that, he says. That's unbelievable. Yeah, she's Friday, and we're ready to F off big time. We're on the verge of a big beer drinking weekend, St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. Here's a couple of fellas that are no strangers to getting her done with the drinking. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, both of you, tell us the story of the drunkest you've ever been. Go. Randy Shaver, you go first. The drunkest you've ever... I think I know the story, but the drunkest you've ever been.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Hand grenades.
Hand grenades.
That'll do it.
You were drinking some kind of a drink called hand grenades.
Checked out of the hotel twice. Super sick in the bathroom.
Oh.
Are you talking about the next morning you got sick?
Yep. Well, overnight.
Overnight you got sick.
Yeah, the hotel mailed back my shorts and shirt that I left. Yeah.
You left a pair of shorts and a T-shirt in the room.
They were destroyed.
Oh, that's
no!
hilarious.
Like you threw
Why
up
did they mail them back then?
I couldn't even tell you, Brad.
Just to be dicks,
Yeah,
maybe.
make sure you feel the shame again.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
So did they clean your shorts and T-shirt?
No.
They didn't.
Nope.
And there's puke on the shorts and
Yep, I've told this story.
Oh, no, you never included that information.
Yes,
that's
I did.
crazy.
I've told you this story.
Well, I've heard the story, but maybe I'm just forgetting.
We were there for a Vikings exhibition game, whole crew of us. We go out on Bourbon Street after the game. Big mistake. Totally annihilated. Chad Hartman was our play-by-play guy. Totally. Keith Nord was part of that group.
Sure, former Viking Keith Nord.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Totally annihilated. Get to the hotel. We have an early flight. They wake me up. In the middle of the night, I got up and got sick in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And left the bathroom. It was a disaster.
Do you think?
And I'm not going to go into details, but it was a disaster.
Well, you already gave us some pretty cool details about your.
Anyway, luckily for me, I had changed my clothes after that happened and went back to passed out again on the bed. So I was dressed and ready. They call me saying, "Hey, man, we're down here. You need to get down here. We got to go to the airport."
Right.
So I get down to the hotel. I check out. We're down waiting for the car. I can't even stand up. I'm still drunk.
Did you at least give the lady cab fare?
Gave what lady cab fare? No. There was none of that. No. So we're standing down there, and I say to myself, did I check out of the hotel? And it's one of those hotels where the front desk is on the third floor.
Okay.
So I have to go back in the elevator, go up there.
Oh, no,
and I
not
go
the
up there and say,
elevator.
I think I need to check out. And the lady looks at me and goes, "Mr. Shaver, you just checked out 10 minutes ago." So at that point, I was in really bad shape. Get on the airplane. I'm sick. I feel terrible on the airplane. It's just awful. I get home. My wife is so mad at me because I'm just still hungover. It's just bad the whole way. Anyway, a week later, I get a package in the mail, and it's from the hotel.
Yeah.
And I open it up, and it's my shorts and my shirt, and they didn't touch it. And I open it up. I thought I was going to puke all over the place.
I bet that was a week old dried vomit.
Oh,
and like an idiot, okay, the story gets better. My mother-in-law was living with us at the time, waiting for her house to be built.
Mm-hmm.
Like an idiot, I decide I'm going to wash them instead of throwing them away. I put them in the wash. I walk away from the washing machine, whatever. My mother-in-law comes down there, opens up the washing machine, and goes, "Oh, my God, what is this?" And she pulls my wife aside and says, I think Randy got really sick the other day. And maybe he's not feeling well.
Oh, no.
Little did she know it was from a week ago in New Orleans. Yeah, the whole thing just so bad.
Brad Ryder, I bet you're pissed I didn't ask you to go first.
Yeah, because I can't top that.
You can't top that.
There's no way I can top that. But there is a common theme. I think in mine it was sports trip related, and I'm going to bring up a name of one of Randy's closest dear friends who's no longer with us. Back in 1993, I went on a Gopher football trip down to Iowa in an official capacity, mind you. But Friday night, usually before those games, was kind of like all out for staff to kind of go out and, have some fun.
And hell, Brad Ryder in 93, you're still a young man.
Oh,
gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was 26, something like that. Went out with, and here comes the names, Randy. Mike Woodley, Dave Huffman,
Dave Hoffman.
Yes, they were doing the games on MSC, and a few of the rest of us went out that night, and I wasn't driving, so I took full advantage. And those two guys helped me get back to my room that night. And the next morning was a little rough, but that would probably be the
Were they picking on you since you were the young guy, Brad? Were they picking on you and buying you all the most hardcore shots?
Yep.
And that sucks.
Yep, for
And Randy
sure.
Shaver, back to your story in New Orleans. You mentioned that you yacked up and down in the middle of the night all over your hotel, including a pair of T-shirt and shorts.
In the bathroom of the hotel.
Okay. Do you think you were the only one to get sick?
Yes.
The other guys you were with, they were a little more hardcore than you?
I wouldn't
they just
say
drink
Keith
less?
Nord and
I think
Chad Hartman?
you know what? To be honest with you, I think they drank less.
Okay.
And I just remember we started with rum runners.
Oh, no.
You started with that?
Well, yeah, because we were on Bourbon Street.
Right.
So we
Right.
started with rum runners. Then we went to that O'Grady's or whatever that bar is, that famous Irish bar. We're drinking there, but at the end of the night, we go down to the end of Bourbon Street and drink these stupid hand grenades. And that's what killed me. Those things are lethal.
Yeah, that's like a Long Island times 3.
Yeah, don't light a match around somebody that's been drinking a grenade.
Really?
And that was the end of the story.
Randy,
Yes.
I have a pretty good memory for stories like this. And yes, I know you've told your New Orleans story before, but I can almost promise you've never included the information about the dried vomit, the week-old shorts and T-shirt that
I'm
were
pretty
mailed
sure
to you.
I have,
Why? That's just an interesting move on that hotel's part.
It
You
is.
must have really.
Oh, you know why? Here's why.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, I thought I lost the receipt to the hotel to give to the station because I needed it for the expenses.
Yeah.
So I said, I think I left it in the pocket of my shorts. I think that's it. In fact, I know that's why they ended up.
And they
mailing
found
it
the
back.
shorts.
And the receipt wasn't in there because I found the receipt buried in a suitcase or something.
That poor housekeeper
can you imagine?
that had to pick that up.
It looked like a war zone.
Ashley, it's Bourbon Street.
I was
She's
going to say,
seen way worse than that.
If you're a
True.
housekeeper on Bourbon Street, that's a Tuesday.
My God. That's great. Well, okay. Randy and Brad, St. Patrick's Day Sunday? Let's do it again, huh?
No.
Let's do it again.
thank
Make
you.
some homemade grenades for Randy.
No.
All right.
Thank God it's on a Sunday. Maybe that'll limit people from.
Well, people will go out on Saturday.
It's going to be 30. It's going to be 30 degrees on Sunday.
It was cold last year and people were still out in St. Paul.
Yeah, nothing will ever stop folks from being.
The whiskey will keep you warm.
Yeah, I mean that the weather barely ever has an effect on that. Trust me, I know. Well, there you go. Those are good stories. We got a dad fight ready for you guys in about 15 minutes, so brush out the cobwebs. We got another Dad Fights trivia contest for you. Let's cover what we need to cover, and then we'll get there. Pigs beat Anaheim last night, 2-rip. Marc-Andre Fleury, by God, he collected his 75th career shutout. They're 5-0-1 in their last 6 games, so maybe they're making that playoff
that run.
push.
Yep. They're 4 points back of Vegas for the final playoff spot. This is it. This is the run, man.
Is this the run we've been waiting for?
Has to be. There's no more time. This is it. So far, so good.
Got a
Vegas
text
does
message.
have a game. I was going to say they do have a game in hand, so they're down 4, but maybe a little bit more too.
They play St. Louis tomorrow night. Now, that's a club that's right in the mix as well.
Right behind them.
Mm-hmm. The L.A. Kings are in there somewhere. I haven't looked at the standings in a while, but this is a club, the Blues, that are right in the mix. That'll be tomorrow night.
Then we play the Ducks again on Tuesday.
See, there you go. The Ducks blow. Mm-hmm. So that's all good news. Marc-Andre Fleury is 11th on the NHL shutouts list. He's 1 behind Ed Belfour and Tony Esposito. The Russian kid and Zach Bogosian scored a goal each last night, and they kept it respectful. They didn't score any empty net goals. So tomorrow night against the St. Louis Blues. Yeah, here's a text message, Randy. Just came in. You were sharing your great drunkest you've ever been story from New Orleans. This listener says, I've been listening to this show for 20 years. The evolution of Randy Shaver is incredible. He used to be so stern and act like a crabby dad. Now he's talking about getting effed up and destroying bathrooms.
Well, he's almost retired.
He says, and he makes reference to that, this listener, the light at the end of the tunnel must be blinding for him. I know, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? We agree with you.
That new Russian kid also played last night, too. I think it was his first game.
They got a Russian kid, and now they got a new Russian kid.
Hustendinov. I think that's how it's pronounced.
I haven't tried to say his name yet. Hustendinov. Hustendinov. Okay.
Yes.
We got the Russian kid, now we got the new Russian kid. I got to write this stuff down. This is ridiculous, but very funny. So last night there were supposed to be Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads given away at the Pittsburgh Penguins home game.
Yeah.
But somebody stole them.
Who would steal them?
19,000 of them.
I'm wondering if they had no idea what they were stealing.
Yeah.
Or got some bad info.
Here's the message on Twitter from the Pittsburgh Penguins organization. They said the shipment carrying the Jagr bobbleheads for the game has been stolen en route to Pittsburgh. Fans will get vouchers for a future date to pick them up. That's effing funny. Now, some hockey fans think the thief was Pimples. What's the name of the Flyers mascot?
Gritty.
Gritty. They think it was...
well, Gritty kind of hinted around that maybe he was involved.
Yeah, he did. He did. You explain this to me, Josh. Gritty, the Flyers mascot, he took responsibility, again, on Twitter. He posted this comment, "Tell Cersei I want her to know it was me." That's a reference to that show?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Do you know the line specifically, what he's referencing?
No, I've heard people say that before, but I guess I don't remember it from the show.
Everyone's psyched. They're going to get a Jaromir bobblehead doll. It's going to have a hilarious mullet on it, right? And then the whole schmear got stolen before they even got to town. I bet you're right.
You try to wonder how that happened. I mean, did the whole truckload get taken off?
I don't have any real details here, Brett. Maybe it was like a mafia thing. They just steal the truck and then they figure out what they got later. I don't know.
One time when I was working for the Twins, something similar happened, but the whole shipment didn't get stolen. Enough got stolen where they had to cancel the night because they didn't have. I think we only had like half of them available. So instead of giving out half, we waited until the rest of them got there.
Oh wow!
But yeah. It was one of those bobblehead nights in the early 2000s.
Those are big. I used to camp outside the Metrodome.
Yep.
That's a hell of a deal. You camped outside the old Metrodome for what?
For bobblehead days.
Jeez.
Back when the craze had just kind of popped back up in like the 2000, 2001.
Yep.
You spent the night in a tent or something?
Yeah, we was hanging out on the sidewalk. We were in high school. We had fun with it.
I hear you. What else do I have here in front of me? Oh, Michigan State gassed the Golden Gophers yesterday in the Big Ten tournament, so they're all done. Yesterday we talked about, there were some great steps forward. What's the big word for that?
Yeah, you're right.
We're proud of the club. They had some close games that would have made a big difference in where they're at right now, but they lost by 10 to Michigan State yesterday. So the NIT might not even be interested.
Well, we'll see.
According to what I'm reading.
Yeah.
The National Invitational. How many teams do they put in that tournament these days?
I think it's 48.
Okay. I'd like to think that they could get a spot in this stinking NIT.
They're on the bubble.
Okay. Okay. So the Big Ten tourney keeps rolling at Target Center. Here's who's left. Purdue and Michigan State.
Yep.
Ohio State, Illinois, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Indiana. I think they should probably have some good crowds this weekend, right?
You would think so. I mean, look at some of the matchups. Obviously Wisconsin travels well. Michigan State travels well. There's some teams there that'll bring some fans.
The Iowegians.
That'll hurt attendance a little bit.
What will hurt attendance?
Iowa lost.
Oh, that's right. They got beat. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
But speaking of yesterday's game, did you see that it was kind of like physics and everything was thrown out the window when Pharrell Payne missed that alley-oop dunk?
How did whoa! I don't think I've ever seen that before. And ultimately, it's not going to be a made basket. It's basket interference on the offense on the dunk attempt by Payne.
Wow, look at this. I'm like you, Brian. I've never seen that.
The ball just got stuck between his hands and the front of the rim.
I've never seen that.
You're the smartest guy I know, Josh. What words am I missing? Physics?
Well, that's what everybody was saying, the physics, but I have no idea how that happened either. It was weird.
Did you guys see the video, Randy and Brad?
I did not.
It's like somebody super glued the ball to his hand. Or like when you try and put a cat in a cat carrier, just spread wide out. I'm not going in there.
Alley-oop pass to Pharrell Payne. I mean, and he dunked the basketball. Somehow the ball, about halfway down the rim, spit itself back out. It got stuck on his hands on the rim, like Stephen Bardo was saying there. He's never seen it. None of us have ever seen anything like. What was really funny is, so this bizarro moment happens where somehow that basketball does not go and fall down to the bottom of the basket. As Pharrell Payne is walking, he gets called for interference, for basket interference, because he's hanging onto the ball. The ball's inside the cylinder, all that. He's walking back to play defense, and if you watch the video, Pharrell Payne says to himself, "Da F?" He couldn't figure it out himself.
He was confused.
And real quick, I wanted to say about Stephen Bardo, who does color commentary for the Big Ten Network with Corey Provis, and Robbie Hummel, former Timberwolf, former Purdue Boilermaker. I don't remember who Robbie Hummel teams up with when they call games on the Big Ten Network. Those two guys are so good at what they do. Do you agree, Brad Ryder?
Robbie Hummel specifically, I think Robbie Hummel is one of the best 2 or 3 basketball color commentators out there, period.
I agree with you, and I'm telling you, listen to Stephen Bardo as well a little more if you can. I know a lot of folks don't get too wild about Big Ten basketball, but if you get a chance, listen to how these guys operate and the experience that they use through their play-by-play. The stories, the knowledge, I just can't.
He's just an awesome guy, too. He was with the Wolves when I was there, the couple of years that he was there. He's just a really great guy, and he's really good at what he does. He found his niche for sure.
Yep, Stephen Bardo and Robbie Hummel. Terrific. You might find this funny. Rick Pitino, still coaching college basketball, even though he's in his 70s. Most of his facial features are much newer than that, but he's in his 70s. He's coaching St. John's, okay? They're not the greatest team in the world. They got to play UConn next in the Big East tournament semifinals. Do you have this quote from Rick Pitino when he was asked? Someone asked him, how are you going to go about beating UConn?
UConn tomorrow, what do you have to do to knock them off?
We got to have about 6 of their players get COVID.
I love that honesty.
You know, he's been criticized this year because he's very honest about his team.
Yeah, he said this team is not very good.
I mean, I can't remember. We talked about it a month or so ago where he just said, I got guys on my team that suck. He's not afraid. Why would he be? He's... Speaking of more college basketball, does everyone remember former terrific NFL running back Edgerrin James?
Yeah. Sure.
Did you know he has a son named Jizzle?
That's the nickname, right?
Jizzle? No. Poor kid.
Well, at least that's his nickname.
That's the nickname, yeah.
I personally wouldn't want the word jizz anywhere near my nickname.
I'm with you.
That's a good rule of thumb to have in life.
I watched him play a little last night. Jizzle James.
Who's he play for?
Cincinnati. I don't know if the Bearcats will make the tournament, but I didn't see the end results of Cincinnati's game last night, but I saw a little bit of Jizzle James. His full name is Edgerrin James Jr. They call him Jizzle.
He calls it his on-court persona.
Right.
He turns into somebody different when he's on the court.
Like, what time do I get here in the morning, Josh? Around 4:30? Between 4:30 and 5:40, I'm talking to Josh. 5:40, Cubby. He gets into character.
I have a whole process. I'm a method actor around here.
On-air persona. Jizzle James. Reminds me.
Sounds like a porn name.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah.
Love-Hate, the rock band.
I thought you were going to bring that up.
I have to.
Yeah, it's the dumbest name in rock.
We've mentioned this 1,000 times. Love-Hate, a band that came out in the early 90s, their debut record is so effing good it'll make you sick. Blackout in the Red Room is one of the best debut rock albums ever made.
It is very good.
But for whatever effing reason, the lead singer decided to give himself the rock star name of Jizzy Pearl.
That's two semen references in one name.
And I will never forgive him for that.
Understandable.
Middle name.
I don't know.
Spuzz. And then the lead guitar player's name was Skid or something. Look that up. Wasn't it Skid, Stain, or Mushroom Stamp or something?
Yeah, it was Skid.
Skid. Come on, dude. We get it. You're rock stars. You're different. It's just frustrating. But remember the story, Joshua, where I met Jizzy Pearl when he was singing for Rat?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that he was singing. This is after Love-Hate had gone away, and now he's taking Stephen Pearcy's place in Rat, and I'm in charge of introducing Rat at a bowling alley or something. And I walk backstage, and there's Bobby Blotzer, and there's Warren DeMartini, which was very thrilling for me, of course, the original members of Rat. And then I look in the corner of the room, and I say to myself, that looks like Jizzy Pearl, the dude from Love-Hate. And then it dawns on me, oh, he's singing for... And I walk up to Jizzy Pearl, and I say, dude, Blackout in the Red Room is one of the best effing albums I've ever heard. And he looks in my eyes, and he says, really? This will teach you not to screw around. Two-time Masters golf champion Bernhard Langer. He's not going to be able to play in the Masters this year, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, because he tore his Achilles tendon playing pickleball.
No. Stupid pickleball.
It is crazy how many people pickleball's taken out.
That is friggin' hilarious.
We've had people in the that work in medicine text us and say we basically have to open up wards for all the people coming in that get hurt playing pickleball.
He was trying to stay fit. He's no kid, is he, this Bernhard Langer?
Oh, God.
No.
He's
no.
66.
Is he 66?
Oh, come on.
What, is he that old?
66 years old.
What do you mean, Wapple? Oh, my God. No.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
Settle down. Settle down.
Yeah, Wapple was holding in vomit when he said that. He's like, oh, gross.
Put him down already.
You live to that age.
He's 66 years old, so he's not... I mean, so he's circling the drain.
He's pretty much there.
He's circling the drain.
Oh, he's pretty much there.
I think he's looking for a plot and everything.
Whoa.
He has trouble breathing. He was playing pickleball to stay fit. He said he went for an overhead shot, and when he landed, he heard a huge pow, like a gunshot.
No.
He knew it was his Achilles. He went down like a sack of dog turds. And now he won't be able to play in the Masters, but he does say here he will attend the Champions Dinner. Well, yeah, dude, free drinks.
Sure.
I love stories of ruptured Achilles tendons. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's so funny for me. When someone ruptures an Achilles tendon, I apologize. I don't know what's wrong.
Only funny until it happens to you.
I think it's
you know
crazy.
what? But here's the thing, Randy. Even if it happens to me, I bet I will find it funny.
No, you won't.
I think it's
telling
crazy
you.
that it sounds
Maybe
that
when you're
loud.
on the pain meds. Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard it like in person?
I've seen it. I didn't hear anything.
I want to hear it.
I'm a sucker for that kind of humor. I am. All right, we better get going. What do I got here? Do we have the video up there on the 93x.com where a professional tennis match got overtaken by damn bees?
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just a few bugs flying around Carlos right now.
With bees here. They
Some bees. Carlos is being attacked.
He's not liking that, is he?
No. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them all over the court. That's you can see them.
Holy cow! I've never seen that before.
No, they're right above the chair umpire's chair as well. Like Carlos got to get a towel on his head. He's like getting off the court. That's amazing.
Jesus Christ, even during a bee attack, tennis announcers are boring. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's bees.
Onions.
I also find bee attacks funny. I do. If ever we're out and about and someone's running from bees and their Achilles goes shooting across the yard, I'm going to be on the floor.
Well, you like other people's misery.
I do.
In general.
I do. Oh, real quick, this weekend, Gals High School basketball.
Yep.
The tournament continues on Channel 45. The Wolves are at Utah tomorrow night. Golden Gopher Dudes hockey. Big Ten tournament game with Michigan tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Gopher ladies. NCAA tournament tomorrow. They got a game with Clarkson.
Kelly?
Wobble the button!
Dad fights! Dad fights! You don't have a dad, here's what it's like. Dad fights! Dad fights! Randy and Brad, they just fight. Have a dad fight, yeah! I'm fighting!
You see, door-swinging truck driver Jesus needs to loosen up a little bit. He just texted in and said he tore his Achilles right off the bone in 20+19. He says there's nothing fun or funny about it. Come on, man. There must have been something funny about it.
Were your friends thinking it was funny?
Yeah, I bet your friends thought it was funny. I don't know. Some people just don't have a sense of humor. Randy Shaver versus Brad Ryder. Dad Fights, part 162. If you're new to the program, this is our weekly one-on-one trivia boner. 2 men, 1 radio show once a week. A series of trivia questions to determine a winner. She's going to be real simple to explain our topic for this week's questions. It's stupid St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. Yay. Great athletes of Irish descent. Don't you know? We have a series of trivia questions where we'll be looking for you 2 pricks to name a great athlete of Irish descent. Oh, you can ask Hennessy, Tennessee, Morrison, Shaughnessy, Rorden, or Rooney. They'll tell you the same. McNulty, Mulrooney, and Cotter and Clooney all feel the same mixture of pride and shame. Finnegan, Hannigan, Kelly, and Flanagan. What song?
The Irish drinking song, Family Guy.
Close enough. My Drunken Irish Dad, Family Guy. I love that song. All you got to do, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, is listen to the clues, and you'll do just fine. I believe you'll do just fine in naming these great athletes of Irish damn descent. I'll give you one hint. Out of principle and overall decency, we left Tom Brady out of the contest. You can forget that. F that guy. You know how Dad Fights goes. You need to be the first to shout out the correct answer. God dang it, this is like the 6th straight week where we forgot to clear it first, what we're going to do with the we'll get to that. If you answer correctly, you'll hear the bell. That means you get a point. I keep forgetting to ask you ahead of time now, Wampa, what you'd like to do for the sound effect that will determine when an incorrect answer has been said aloud.
I got it right here.
It's a complete crap.
It's crap.
Yeah.
It is.
Perfect.
That answer was crap.
I like the disgust in his delivery.
Yep.
If you
The
are
emphasis on the word.
If you are incorrect, you'll hear that coach from the Toronto Raptors talk about how it's complete crap.
It's a complete crap.
You can steal if your opponent answers incorrectly. You can go ahead and take from your opponent if they answer incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker. Welcome our latest listener who has volunteered their intro skills. It's Witness Protection Jesus.
Hey guys, this is Witness Protection Jesus. I'm coming to you from a shady motel by the lake 80 miles from Santa Fe. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. In one corner, a man who's much lonelier than Witness Protection Jesus, wandering softball fields aimlessly, hoping someone would just ask him to hit a pop fly. It's the lonely boy, Brad Ryder. In the other corner, a man that's happy the camera adds 10 pounds to that ass.
It was humongous, enormous, huge.
He's just faking it, cashing in paychecks at Care 11 until they stop. It's Randy Shaver. Stay safe, brotherhood. This is Dad Fights 162.
There you go. Hopefully he didn't give away too much. All right, who was this guy again? The truck driver? with the Achilles that came right
Door
off the bone.
swinging truck driver.
He admits that his friends did find it funny when his Achilles peeled right off the bone.
I knew it.
Yes.
He's wearing a Dad Fights t-shirt today.
Oh, sweet.
Who's
great.
wearing a Dad Fights t-shirt?
Door swinging truck driver, Jesus.
How the hell do you know what he's wearing?
I got sources.
You're not a real friend if you don't laugh at your other friend's injuries.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you think you weren't part of the crew?
Yeah.
If they just don't laugh?
If your buddy gets hit in the nuts, you're not going to laugh?
Oh, you have to laugh.
I mean, like I was just telling the story a few days ago about my pal who absolutely destroyed his knee downhill skiing. It was funny at the time. He still can't quite walk correctly, and it's still funny. If you'd like to be part of a Dad Fights intro, send an electronic mail to HAMS93X at gmail.com. Did I say that right? HAMS93X at gmail.com. We'll get you straightened out. Okay. Athletes of Irish dam descent, Randy and Brad.
Respected for the skill and accomplishments he brings to his sport, and near legendary status for his wild personality and anything but athlete appearance, no one would be surprised if after handpicking 3 Hooters girls for a foursome...
John Daly.
That's right.
What do you mean anything but athlete appearance?
Well,
Does he not look like he,
you know who John Daly is?
Diet Coke and cigarettes.
Little tubby.
He loves that. And M&M's, right?
Peanut M&M's.
Yeah. John Daly is the correct answer. With Masters Week approaching, Daly will again take up residence at Hooters just outside Augusta. It's his annual week-long party. He's been a brand ambassador for Hooters for over a decade and has a Hooters Black card, which means the brewskis and wingies are always free.
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's a hell of a deal he's got going there. But it's too bad there just aren't many left. Well, at least around here.
Yeah, just the Mall of America is the only one left in Minnesota.
Is that the only one? Is that the only one left?
That's it here, yeah.
How are they doing in other parts of the world? I mean, we just read a story a week ago or so about the final Hooters in West Virginia closed its doors. Are they just dying all over this great country?
I don't think it's as hot as it used to be.
I think they've been dead, haven't they?
They've been dead.
There's 300 Hooters in the United States.
They're doing okay.
I almost get the feeling they're better in smaller not small towns, but smaller towns.
Yeah,
They're
you
probably more
may be
popular.
right.
You need to go to Texas. They have 55 Hooters.
Whoa. What's that Irish one? The Tilted Kilt or something?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, isn't that like your dream place, Wobble? Because they wear skirts?
Yeah,
Everybody
that'd be
talks
sweet.
about that being great. Tilted Kill.
He ain't the only one with that same dream, actually. I remember hearing about that years ago. And I still hear stories. I don't think I've ever walked into one. 1-0 Randy Shaver with the correct answer at John Daly. Neither one of you knows Jack Robinson when it comes to hockey. Or maybe Jack O. Robinson is more fitting for today, but we're going to go ahead anyway. Here's an old Irish laddie who was straight up born in Belfast, Northern Ireland before moving to Canada as a kid. He played for 6 different NHL teams in his career. In 2000+8, he came to play for the Pigs for a couple seasons, and he was even made team captain.
Don't know.
Don't know. No.
It's a complete crap.
State of hockey, my ass. No, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. The correct answer is Owen Nolan.
Oh,
Gosh, I would never have guessed.
I would never have gotten that.
Owen Nolan is so damn Irish, his middle name is Liam. And he's one of 6 players in NHL history to be born in Ireland. The others were some dudes named Sid Finney, Bobby Kirk, Jim McFadden, Sammy McManus, and Jack Riley.
McManus.
Jack Riley. Was that the coach of the 1960 Olympic hockey team that cut Lou Nanny?
I think so.
Was that Jack Riley? Yeah, that's a tough one, boys. Owen Nolan. He was a tough dude. I liked Owen Nolan's style. Tougher than hell. He'd beat the piss out of you. Then he'd go get, 3-4 points on the night.
Yep. John Riley was the coach of the Olympic hockey team.
I'll be damned. He cut Herb Brooks right before the... And then, of course, in 1980, that's why Brooks kept threatening to cut the other. Okay, I'm glad we could come around like that. Still 1-0 Randy Shaver.
Even with all the storied careers surrounding each of the 346 inductees of the Baseball Hall of Fame, only one Baseball Hall of Famer can say he got to at least third base with Scarlett Johansson.
Derek Jeter.
Mariah Carey, Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel, and a former Miss Universe, Derek Jeter, is the correct answer.
Mariah Carey, jeez Louise.
According to a 2011 story in the New York Post, Jeter made a habit of giving his one-night stands a gift basket the morning after they spent the night, coldly sending them home with baskets of autographed memorabilia. However, 2 years ago, ahead of the release of an ESPN docuseries on his life and career called The Captain, he denied those rumors.
Barney from How I Met Your Mother, he would do that. He always had like stuff prepared for the women that slept over at his house.
For one-night stands?
I remember that.
There was a time he was quite the swordsman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Derek Jeter?
Listen to that list of
Oh,
chicks
yeah.
he just
I mean,
rattled off.
I don't think I even got through a third.
And is the story that his mother is Irish? Was that the story?
I believe so, yeah. That's
Of
the descent.
Irish descent. Derek Jeter. Ah, there you go. You know what I would give you just for Mariah Carey's toilet seat? What's the score, Wapple?
It is currently 1-1.
1-1. Brad
tied
Ryder
up.
got that. Did you get that one, Brad Ryder? Derek Jeter?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Anyone's game.
Absolutely. You're right, Wapple. For this next challenge, I'm only going to say 4 words. I'm that confident that just those 4 words will be all it takes for one or both of you to know the Irish athlete I'm going for. And here we go. You cannot be serious.
John McEnroe.
John McEnroe.
That was Randy.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious. That ball was on the line. Chalk flew up. It was clearly in. How can you possibly call that out? How many you can miss?
It was the only time tennis was worth watching.
Yes, I agree.
Nice work. I knew you guys would get that. Nice work, Randy Shaver. John McEnroe, all-time tennis great John McEnroe. Did anyone see his, there's a documentary on the man.
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's not that old, is it, Randy? It's just
No, it's been around. It's been around just for a few years.
Yeah. You should check that out.
It's
I like
really
it.
good.
He's gotten involved in all kinds of things, acting and music and whatnot.
Yep.
What a character, John McEnroe. Okay. Randy Shaver takes a 2-1 lead.
Since the 3-time world heavyweight champion's
Muhammad Ali.
Dang it.
As soon as you said boxing,
I didn't realize he was Irish.
That one got me too. I thought that was going to be difficult, so I made the clue easy. Yeah, I was going to say his famous quote should have been "float like a leprechaun, sting like whiskey." But you got it. Muhammad Ali. Had you heard that before, or that was just a great guess?
as soon as you said boxing, it's the only thing that came to my mind.
Ali is credited with coining the phrase GOAT, greatest of all time. He would refer to himself as the greatest of all time throughout his career, but it was actually his wife who shortened it to GOAT when they needed a name for their new business.
I had no stinking idea that he was of Irish descent.
I wouldn't have guessed that
I had
either.
to check multiple sources to make sure that was true. That was a total shock to me.
And what's the rule again, Josh, if someone wants to call themselves Muhammad Ali?
The rule? I don't know.
If a man wants to call himself Muhammad Ali, god dang it, it's a free country. He can call himself what movie? Coming to America. Nice work, Randy Shaver. Randy takes a 3-1 lead, right? Is that right, Wapple?
Yes.
Dad fights 160 plus 2. We're going through great athletes of Irish descent in honor of St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. Okay, name this next effing Irish dude. A quarterback who did not have the luck of the Irish on his side when he lost 3 Super Bowls.
John Elway.
John Elway. I got it. Oh. Really?
Who's the,
Really.
At least to us, it did sound like it was quite a bit ahead of you there, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The correct. Randy Shaver was the guy on that one. Randy
John
leads now 4-1. Yes, did not have the luck of the Irish on his side when he lost 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. But rather than going down in history as one of the best to never win a ring, he won it all in each of his last 2 seasons in the late 90s and got his Irish ass dumped into the Hall of Fame in the year 2000. Add 4, John Elway. I also had no idea that the man had any Irish in him. In 1999, I mean, this is how good John Elway was. And this is why I always hold quarterbacks from his era and earlier in higher regard than I do current quarterbacks. Because today, they don't really play much football. Quarterbacks get protected up and down. You can't look at them wrong. You can't hit them wrong. John Elway in 1999 was ranked the 16th best football player of all time. Sports Illustrated called John Elway the greatest athlete to ever wear jersey number 7 in any sport. Big lead for Randy here, Brad. What do you got?
Finish him.
Oh, you could be finished right here, Brad.
Yeah.
Not just an Irish lad, he's also Scottish, English, Welsh, and German. But American fans of the Olympics are sure glad he calls the U.S. home.
Phelps.
Fatality.
He's on fire.
That was an ass kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those famous Irish athletes like Muhammad Ali and John Elway.
Somebody salty.
No, I mean, honestly, those were great guesses.
Yeah, no, they were. I don't doubt they are, but that was good.
Michael Phelps, huh? Yeah, he won a lot of gold medals. What was he doing? Swimming?
Swimming.
Yep, swimming.
Did you guys know Nolan Ryan was Irish?
Yes, I did know that.
No.
Neither did I. We were going to ask you about Nolan Ryan. Connor McDavid?
Sure.
Guess that one.
Okay.
Hockey player. I might have guessed that one.
Edmonton.
Jason Kidd.
Oh.
That one surprised me.
His mother is Irish.
That one really surprised me.
Interesting.
Kevin McHale.
Oh, sure.
That's a hell of a list. It's a hell of a list. So either one of you give 2 pumps about St. Patrick's Day? You going to do anything?
Nope.
No.
No.
Nice, quiet.
I'm not Irish at all. No.
No, not at all?
No.
Randy, what about you?
Nope. It's a nice, quiet Sunday for me.
Well, what the hell are you then?
I'm going to watch the pairings for the NCAA tournament. That's
Okay.
what I care about.
Start filling out brackets right away on Sunday?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Is it kind of like your fantasy sports? Do you fill out 77 of them?
No, I only do a couple. I'm
I
not
don't-
very good at it.
I don't remember the last time I filled out a bracket.
It's been a while, too.
Yeah, you just kind of.
We should do one. The show. We should do one on the show.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. We could put someone in charge of that. Dana, you're in charge of that.
I can make that happen.
Like I said a few days ago, I think getting a little older, me and my bros just kind of shrug it off now. We don't really give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Well, both of you go have a great weekend. We appreciate everything.
You bet.
Thanks,
All right.
Randy. Thanks, Brad. And we will be back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
If you sacrifice your dream for the sake of satisfying someone else, that can often lead to ongoing resentment, which then poisons a relationship. Subtly, slowly, but it does. And if he doesn't want to let you down, then your dreams matter. Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
You're listening to the radio.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hear you. We've made her all the way up to 8:28 here on this Friday morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Hopefully this is your final. You go out and have some fun this weekend. That's our plan. This is great. We got a text message a few minutes ago from the mayor of Farmington, a fella by the name of Joshua Hoyt. We were talking about him a little bit earlier today. We were even talking about this event yesterday. A wrestling company by the name of Ironheart, I believe is the name of the company. Ironheart organized a fundraising wrestling match for tomorrow. Where the hell is the match taking place?
It's in Rosemont. It's called True Players with a Z, because they nasty. Sports Training and Upper Deck Lounge.
Rosemont True Players.
Yeah, Dakota County Heroes are part of this as well.
Okay. They organized this wrestling show to benefit the families of the 3 first responders who were killed in Burnsville a couple of weeks ago. One of the worst effing stories of all time. What a great idea. I mean, an independent wrestling show is always a great idea. They're so much effing fun. But also to be able to put some money in the pockets of some of these folks who are going through something that most of us, luckily, will never even be able to imagine. What a great idea to put on a wrestling show and raise some money. Should be a great show. So Joshua Hoyt texted us when he heard us talking about him earlier. Mayor of Farmington. He says, I appreciate you talking on air about our event tomorrow. Thank you for spreading the word. I greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you tomorrow. Now, Josh responded saying that you're thinking of maybe bringing the family to the event.
Yeah, this was something we were planning on doing, so hopefully it works out. There's one thing that might get in the way, but I think we're going to be there. And I can't wait to meet the mayor. You know, I told him in the text, I feel like I'm texting with a celebrity. And honestly, I was trying to imagine if we could ever, for charity, get a wrestling event with all the mayors, you know, the local mayors. My money's on Hoyt.
Yeah.
I immediately, I'm saying our mayor's not going to be able to handle it. Take a look at this guy. He's a Marine Corps vet. What else? You know, what else do you need? He wrestled in high school.
He's a grown man. He's got a beard.
He's got a beard.
He's got a beard.
I'm so excited that you might be going to the show. I hope you make it, but Josh, you got to do me a favor when you're there.
What's that?
And Wapple's going to appreciate this, too. I think Wapple's going to like my idea. You got to root against the mayor, dude.
Yes.
I can't.
Yes.
I know we like he listens to our show. He texted in, and we're so excited for the event. But you got to be the heel in the audience, dude.
You're going to be the only one. It would be so awesome.
That's what...
like, I voted for the other guy, hold up the sign or something.
Yeah. Dude, that's brilliant. I voted for the other guy. Because if you know wrestling, and specifically independent wrestling, that, you know, the heels, and being a heel member of the audience can add so much to the show. Because, so Joshua Hoyt, the mayor of Farmington, he noticed that ticket sales weren't going so well a few days ago, so he got online and he challenged any wrestler on the roster of Ironheart Wrestling to a match. And you know, whoever that wrestler is that takes the challenge, you know they're going to get in the ring and say, you don't belong in the ring with athletes like us, and Farmington sucks. And Josh, you got to be the guy that stands up and says, he's right, Farmington does suck.
I live in Dakota County. We don't want him in our county.
Right.
Yeah.
You got right, Wapple. He's got to embrace the magic of the heel character.
Yes, one of the funnest things I did when I went to a local wrestling show was I brought a whiteboard. So then I could constantly just keep erasing it and writing other stuff on it.
That's very clever on your part.
So I didn't have just one sign.
Right.
And then on it, at one point I wrote, please use me on the whiteboard. Darren Corbin rolled out of the ring, grabbed it from me, and then the other guy took it from Darren Corbin, and Corbin got smashed with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So cool.
That's exciting stuff.
Yeah, what a great event they're putting on. That's a lot of fun and such a good cause.
If you bring a sign that says, I voted for the other guy, I will give you $100.
I'm
That
tempted
is
to
such
do
a
it.
great idea.
But I don't want to
give
get
you $100 too.
I don't want to get my ass kicked.
You're not
by
gonna get your
somebody thinking I'm, you know, I mean it.
Oh, for God's sake, it's a wrestling show. And the heel wrestlers will protect you.
Yes.
I'm going to show up with the Lakeville mayor, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, is that the closest neighbor? Yeah, Lakeville.
I'll show up at the Lakeville. You know, I'll be dressed in furs. I'll be talking about.
Oh yeah.
Get out of a limo with him.
Joshua Hoyt. Thank you for listening. Thanks for texting in. If you know our show, you know we're big wrestling fans around here. We love the independent shows, and like I said already, especially when it's being put on to benefit the families involved in this horrible, horrible story. You don't have to thank us for our support. This is way up our alley right here. So
no, and I wasn't kidding. I thought I was so shocked that he listens to the show, and I thought that was so cool. So thank you, Mayor Hoyt.
He's not a celebrity. You are a celebrity.
That's not true.
Yes, you are.
He's a celebrity.
And I want you to make that known at the show on Saturday night. You are the only real celebrity in the building.
Yeah, what if I just started chanting, boring? And I thought committee meetings suck.
If there are real wrestling fans at this show, and I know there will be, they will greatly appreciate your heel turn.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
What a great opportunity that you have, Josh.
Someone even texted in, they had a great idea for this mayor wrestling match. Whoever wins the match becomes governor.
It's a battle royal for...
So all the mayors...
Whoever Hoyt, what about what?
Josh said that he wanted to have a mayor wrestling match. All the mayors from bordering towns.
And the winner is?
Governor.
Yeah, where's the show again?
Rosemont.
Rosemont. See, I'm not going because Rosemont sucks.
Yeah, they went downhill ever since Big Daddy's Diner closed down.
Whoever let this guy in the ring is higher than the taxes in Farmington. I'll have to look up some political stuff. Now, I have no idea if the taxes are high in Farmington, for the record.
You are on your way to the greatest night of your life if you go through with this. Write those ideas down. Those are great ideas. Maybe Hoyt will give us a call. Yeah, he was texting earlier. Hoyt, if you're still listening, give us a call. We'd like to talk to you in person. We know you texted earlier. Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, some of the best times I've ever had at a wrestling match was when I would go through with exactly what I'm encouraging Josh to do. I mean, you guys know I love, who doesn't, Stone Cold Steve Austin. But every time I saw him in person, I rooted against him because the entire crowd was rooting for Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was the fun of it. You know, when his opponent, the heel, walks out, everybody's sitting on their hands. Me and my buddy Rick would get on our hands, on our feet, and just, yeah, William Regal rules, you know?
I'm the biggest William Regal fan.
And to have the people in your section sit down and shut up, jag off him, and that's the fun of going to a wrestling match.
I love when the people in the crowd go after the heel fan. Oh, it's so much fun.
It would hurt me deep down that I'm rooting against Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you got to do it. William Regal comes out with his turned up pinky and the whole bit. He's the aloof, rich Englishman against, the hillbilly Stone Cold. It's just tailor-made for fun.
And it's so much fun, too, when you stand up. You're the only one standing up, so you have this feeling like, I should probably sit down, but I'm not going to.
Some guy's going to hit me with a stunner here in the aisle of section 128.
Yep.
There you go.
This would be great. This is a great idea from a listener. Find out who Mayor Hoyt's wrestling and put that person's name on there and follow it by for Farmington Mayor. So, Nipple for Farmington Mayor.
Oh, see? Please, Josh, get a few beers in you, whatever it takes to loosen you up, and we need you here. We need you.
Seeking a Jesus has texted in and wants to know if they can donate without going to the show. Check out, there's a link on 93x.com that's got all that information. And very nice of you, by the way, to be willing to do that.
And your Jesus name is awesome.
I know.
There's ideas coming in via text as to other signs you could bring to the match Saturday night, Josh, and establish yourself as the heel member of the audience and root against Mayor Hoyt. I don't know much about Farmington, but they must be low on grocery stores because one listener is recommending you make a sign that says, "Give us a grocery store."
Yeah, there's a few actually.
People brought that up.
Yeah, I have text that in.
There's no grocery stores in Farmington?
I don't know. I was just there not too long ago for a high school football game. I got a nice high school.
Start the chant, fresh produce.
We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing, Josh. All right, we'll move on. We'll see if Mayor Hoyt wants to give us a phone call and talk about his match. Maybe he knows who he's wrestling already, and we can take that wrestler's side.
Should he call 651-989-9393?
Yes.
You're watching the lines?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess I should have given out the phone number. Big drinking weekend, right? Big drinking weekend for everybody. Wrestling matches, St. Patrick's Day. What's the greatest drinking scene in movie history? Anything come to mind? The greatest drinking scene in movie... Ooh, one just came to my mind. But go ahead.
Coyote Ugly.
Never saw it.
Well, I haven't seen that in a long time.
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Why do you say that?
What happened?
She's like dancing on the bar, being all sexy and stuff, and people are just hanging out at the bar drinking.
Well, that does sound incredible.
Yeah, I just like her dancing on the bar. I remember when I was younger, and I was like, I want to do that very badly.
I have seen a few minutes of it. And what's the name of that actress up on the bar?
Oh, I'm not sure.
She's pretty, though.
I always really thought she was wildly attractive. Coyote Ugly. You'll come up with it, I'm sure, over there. You've got computers and whatnot, right? Anything else come to mind? Greatest drinking scenes in movie history?
I mean, pretty much the entire running time of Beer Fest.
I love Beer
Comes
Fest.
to mind. I mean, you pick a scene, you know.
That
spin
whole
a wheel.
movie. It is so effing good. Mm-hmm. And that's why you guys know I get aggravated when people act like what was that cop movie? Yeah.
Super Troopers.
People act like that's funny. It's not.
I love it.
When those guys, what's that comedy group? The Dopey Lizard. Whenever anyone talks about them, they always say Super Troopers is garbage. It's Beer Fest is where it's at.
What about the puke scene from Team America?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's a great entry. Great.
Old school Frank the Tank?
Yes.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very good.
Nick's going to hate it, but I loved Billy Madison with the penguin.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
Nudie Magazine Day.
Nudie Magazine Day.
That's stupid.
Oh, I just thought of one of my favorites, Wolf of Wall Street, when Leonardo DiCaprio and Matthew McConaughey are having their like a martini drinking contest. That's a good one.
Oh, like the 3 martini lunch?
Yeah, until they pass out.
I saw a little bit of that one. Even if you're not a drinker, it says here, which is totally fine, you can still appreciate iconic drinking scenes from movies. Now, I don't remember who put this together, and it doesn't matter. Some of the greatest drinking scenes from famous movies. The Shining makes the list. Jack Torrance sitting and drinking alone at the bar. Even though there's no liquor behind the bar, he behaves drunk. He's talking to a ghost. I mean, it's very creepy. I love that. The scenery of it all, the creepiness of that old bar that he's sitting in all by himself after he loses his mind there at the Overlook Hotel. I see where they're going with that. Okay. The Shining. Inglourious Bastards, that's one of the greatest scenes in movie history.
It was the best movie to ever exist, in my opinion.
When they're in the basement of the bar before the big gunfight breaks out, everything about that scene is so good.
Perfect.
The tension is unbelievable.
What's the line again? Say Auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi balls. Right before they cut loose with the shooting. Jaws.
Oh.
On the boat. They're all drunk. And what's his nuts? Quint busts out the story of the USS Indianapolis. Legendary. And especially, and maybe some of you who are movie fans, you're going to say, oh, this again. But if you don't know, it's worth mentioning. That was all improvised. The USS Indianapolis scene was all improvised.
That's cool.
By the actor, whose name I can't remember. Oh, that's a great, great movie scene. They start singing the song, and they're comparing scars and this and that. Django Unchained, I'm not sure what they're referring to as far as a great drinking scene. There's
I remember liking that movie.
The scene at the end, towards the end, where DiCaprio's character is kind of drunk and he cuts his hand on the glass, and that might be what they're referring. That isn't. I love that effing movie. I love that effing movie. The Princess Bride, maybe when they're drinking the wine there, Josh.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know you do.
That's like a perfect movie, in my opinion. It's got everything.
I'm guessing they're referencing the wine drinking scene where the little guy, what's his line again? It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
When he drinks the wrong wine. Okay, there you go. The Princess Bride. Oh, I wrote this down, but it already did make the list. Raiders of the Lost Ark. The shot drinking competition.
Oh, yeah.
Between Harrison Ford's girlfriend, and then that leads to again with the Nazis. They show up and raise hell at the bar in the middle of nowhere there in Timbuktu, whatever the hell it is. The shot drinking contest from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Shawshank Redemption, I imagine they're referring to the beers that they drink up on the roof with the this and the that. You're drinking with Terry Hoyts now. What movie? The Other Guys.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The still photographs, right, that they're rolling through. They're drinking themselves sideways. I can't remember all the funny little scenes that are thrown into that. You know what I'm talking about?
The montage.
Montage.
Yeah.
Was it like slow motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, that's very funny. One of them choking a priest. One of them is because they're drunk, shooting himself in the foot. Okay, the other guys.
I didn't see the movie, the SpongeBob movie, but a lot of people are texting in the SpongeBob movie. I guess they get drunk on ice cream.
Oh.
Anybody
guess
see
I don't
that?
know.
No.
Yeah, we're getting a few texts on that one.
Well, that sounds like fun. The greatest drinking scenes in movies. We'll wrap this up when we come back.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
Here's what we were talking about a few minutes ago, seeing how we're headed for a big drinkers weekend. Everybody's going to get hammered and pair up with a stranger. We were talking about some of the greatest drinking scenes in movie history. A lot of texts coming in. I'm going to get to those in just a minute. Let me roll through this article. The rest of the movies named in this article that supposedly have great drinking scenes. We covered Old School. We covered Beer Fest. A lot of those texts are coming in. Shaun of the Dead. Terrific. Great movie. Wildly hilarious. And they drink a lot in that movie. The Big Lebowski does a lot of drinking. Top Gun, I'm guessing they're referencing that silly moment where they sing her the song or whatever.
Great Balls of Fire.
Caddyshack. My guess is what they're referencing there is maybe when Bill Murray and Chevy Chase are doing the fireball, cannonball coming, not fireball, cannonball coming. Animal House. Right, John Belushi downs an entire bottle of Jack Daniels. Dazed and Confused, they do a lot of beer drinking in that movie. Fight Club, never saw it. Good Will Hunting, never saw it. Train Spotting, never saw it.
Haven't seen the third one, but the first two were very good.
Very good.
I have a few entries from my personal Slapshot, drinking at the Aces.
Yeah.
Goodfellas. I mean, the scene where, am I a clown to you? I'm a clown. That's an unbelievable drinking scene. Goodfellas. Leaving Las Vegas. That dude parties his ass off.
Oh, my gosh. That cart full of booze he gets at the beginning.
He never stops partying. Leaving Las Vegas.
Got a text about Tommy Boy. Remember when he chugs the beer and then smashes into a coffee table when he passed out face first? That was so funny.
Wakes up in the morning, goes sprinting to the test.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he drops straight down like Ric Flair right onto the. That's great.
Oh, that was awesome.
How about when E.T. was sipping the beers and then by proxy he got Elliot hammered at school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get a couple texts on that.
Let all the frogs go in class. He's just slurring his words around the classroom.
That's a good one. Yeah, E.T. gets into the Coors banquet beers while watching television. Some texts that came in on great drinking scenes from movies. A couple of Tarantino movies are mentioned right away. Desperado, Quentin Tarantino walks into the bar, sits down and tells a joke. Cheech Marin is behind the bar. You know what he's talking about there?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Fair enough. Dusk Till Dawn, sure, they're at that unbelievable strip joint drinking. And then here comes Salma Hayek and everyone with functioning testicles. It changed their life forever, that scene with Salma Hayek. Grandma's Boy, partying at Grandma's house.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good stuff in Grandma's Boy.
Yeah,
there really is. Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
The scene between Johnny Ringo and Doc Holliday. Johnny Ringo spinning his pistol, Doc Holliday spinning his shot glass. American Pie, when Stifler drinks the beer that has a little extra in it.
Yep.
Bob McKenzie from Strange Brew, where he drinks an entire vat. He drinks an entire vat of beer. I remember that like it was yesterday. He drinks an entire vat of beer, and then he says, I got to take a leak, eh? Yeah, you do.
Man, I remember watching that movie with my cousin, and we're both crying at how funny that was.
When the boys get drunk in the John Wayne movie, The Cowboys, you can't bring up the Cowboys in front of me or I will cry like a baby. But sure, when the young kids are drinking in the movie The Cowboys, if you haven't seen John Wayne, in the movie The Cowboys, you are not an American. Rusty's first beer in National Lampoon's Vacation. Dude, come on. That is so beautiful.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anthony Michael Hall, did I get the name right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does not get enough credit for how talented a kid he was. He is perfect in every way in Vacation, his delivery, his facial expression, and that beer drinking scene from the movie is absolutely. I think I got through all the texts. There's so many coming in. Thank you again for all the texts. I got a few more texts, Josh, on tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow night, there's this fundraising wrestling match in, don't tell me, Rosemount. Oh, it's a great fundraising event where the mayor of Farmington is going to be wrestling against a professional wrestler. We've been talking about it the last couple of days. We talked about it 20 minutes ago or so, and we're encouraging Josh to go to the show. You mentioned that you already have interest in going to the show. And
it's likely we're going to, like I said, there's one thing that might be in the way, but I think we're going to be able to go.
To support the mayor of Farmington, Josh Hoyt. But we've been encouraging Josh to be the heel. Turn on Mayor Hoyt. Because the wrestlers are going to say, Farmington blows, you don't belong in the ring with us, and the crowd's going to go boo. Josh, you need to be the guy that says, they're right, get out of there, Mayor, you don't belong. It'd be such a beautiful thing. I got some texts on the show. Let me see if I can find them now. Oh, here we go. Oregonian Jesus sharing a great memory of a wrestling match where he went along with the heel. He says, I was at a local wrestling show years ago, and Paul Bearer was the special guest.
That's cool.
Oh, Undertaker! This dude, Oregonian Jesus, took off his shoe and offered it to Paul Bearer to use it as a weapon. And Paul Bearer did hit the babyface over the head with this guy's shoe. He said it was one of the greatest moments of his life.
What an honor. You can't put that shoe back on your foot. You got to put that behind a glass display case.
Hell yes. And Josh, okay, we're putting a lot of pressure on you. I know we are. Asking you to turn heel at this wrestling match tomorrow night. You came up with some great ideas for some heel signs to heckle the mayor. But if somehow you don't want to play that role, I got a text from Farmington Dad Jesus who says he's going to the show, and he says if Josh doesn't want to play the heel, he will.
Yeah, well, he should do it. He lives there. He lives there. He'd be more qualified.
But boy, does that sound like fun.
Yeah, that's great. What a great cause, again. All that information's up on 93x.com if you're interested in going or want to find a way to donate to the families of the fallen officers and paramedic from out there in Burnsville. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope one of you guys can make it out there.
Yeah, I mean, is it all ages, do you know?
I guess I don't know. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Well, how old are you?
You're old enough to go.
Yeah,
if that's
barely. Oh, no, we're hanging out with my fiance's nephew all day on
now you got
Saturday.
me nervous because I want to bring my son.
Oh.
So I'm assuming.
I have to imagine. It's a charity show. I have to imagine.
It's got to be all ages.
Crazy if it wouldn't be.
You guys are going to be fine.
Yeah, I would think you're going to be good.
What time is it? What?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
This tailgating starts at 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got batting cages at this place, too.
Sweet.
Again, how old are you?
Yeah.
You don't like batting cages?
Crazy Fish Guy Jesus said I should make a sign that says, Mayor Hoyt eats corn the long way.
That's great. That's good. That's awesome.
Come on, we got some real pros in our audience, man. We do.
That's really good.
Good luck tomorrow night. Again, Mayor Hoyt, good luck tomorrow night. Thanks for listening. Like Josh said, what a great idea. But someone's got to get on your ass. I hope it's Josh.
Smokes your mom's pot, Jesus. Text a proud shout out to more kids than brain cells, Jesus. Kicking ass and taking names. Getting off the hoots at Hazelden. Congratulations to Tired Dad Jesus on the newest member of the Brotherhood, his son Windsor, born yesterday. Have a great trip to Stoner Sparky Jesus and the boys headed to Colorado. Natural Light Jesus said happy birthday to his favorite stepbrother Chad this Sunday. Happy 22nd tomorrow to Evan, a.k.a. Town Bitch Jesus. Happy birthday to Framer Rat Jesus, turning the big 67 from Frame Electric Jesus. Extreme Bitch 1 Jesus has a new birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to you from your favorite sister. And to the twins Cassie and Carissa, happy birthday to you from Medically Mystery Jesus. Have a safe and awesome weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.